Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day number 2 for some gameplay action. My name is Army Overlord here, and I happen to have with me a very brand new, fresh off the shelf casting partner today. What's your name?
Hello, my name's Tank. Used to be known as Not a Real Doctor back in the day.
Ah, well, back in the day, you were not a real doctor, but today you're a taint?
Yes, I have been tainted.
Well, funny stuff here. Well, speaking of back in the day, it's some ESG love coming back once again for some more gameplay. Meanwhile, the Degenerates are currently... Oh, looks like I've got the wrong teams on the wrong side here, folks. But anyway, it's the Filthy Degenerates on the blue side and an ESG on the red side here, folks.
Yeah, he's just G Blaines with lad. Very powerful in competitive play with high damage ulti.
Yes, of course he is, and it's very dangerous to get anywhere near a Vladimir, especially when he has his everything up and ready to go. Very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if you witnessed last night's game, but ESG happened to be quite the Baron thieves. Stole not 1, not 2, but 3 objectives away from the enemy team. 2 Barons and my heart. It was very impressive stuff. Very good stuff. Meanwhile, Rivet being banned off the board here. So, somehow, by the way, after all of that, ESG still managed to not come out with the victory. Stealing 2 Barons and you just don't win. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but in the end it comes down to how well you play the map.
Well, to that end, not a real doctor, attain, I should say. My only question to you, one simple question, is what do you think about... Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to... Well, finish the question, yeah. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you.
What I was going to say was, what do you think about League of Legends going into this season? Certainly have been a lot of crazy patch changes. A lot of strong champions already starting to emerge. Meanwhile, Atwell gonna take the Yasuo. Gonna have a second chance at this. But go on.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play a lot this season, or maybe fortunately, since, reset ranked. But, I think League is fine right now. It's always kind of rough at the beginning of the season, every season, but, that'll pass and champions will be strong and, not be strong anymore.
Champions who got nerfed get buffed back into existence. Champions who get buffed and get nerfed back into the graves. You know how it is, of course. Meanwhile, Morgana, Caitlyn secured. Looks like they've got themselves a bot lane here. So Morgana's pretty good at trying to prevent a Yasuo from making the play and catches. So, very similar style FT is aiming for here.
Yeah, and plus that bot lane is especially strong since Caitlyn and Morgana synergize so well with each other. If Morgana gets the Q, Caitlyn can put Jeff underneath them and combo someone down really fast.
Lots of damage, lots of bursting, lots of fun ahead for these teams. Let's hope for some more great action from this Wombo combo setup. But Yasuo and Zac might be just a little bit better of a Wombo combo. Usually see them being a little bit more, I would say, bit more on the synergized side because of the ultimate combos that they both are able to pull off. Meanwhile, Ahri for some extra charm action.
Yeah, that's definitely last CC coming in from the Filthy Degenerates.
Kopek taking the Xin Zhao for Casey.
Yeah, Xin Zhao definitely could help get down to that backline that they have for the Ahri so far. I'm assuming that the ADC probably isn't going to be someone too tanky either. So he's going to be definitely useful for those late game team fights. And also the early game pressure that he provides will be really good against the Zac since, he's not the best early game jungler. So early game, Xin Zhao should be able to pressure out the Zac.
Of course, we all know about the positioning potential Yasuo has, but also the ability of great damages late game. Based off of this pick alone, Atwell was able to dominate last week with the Yasuo, able to turn an impossible fall off to an incredible comeback, and I think Filthy Degenerates might be able to win purely from Atwell's performances alone. But Caleb going to add the Ahri factor with an extra damage output, I feel could cause what this team could need to get the edge to beat ESG here. Now,
Yeah, so far, both team comps are looking pretty good. I would like to see a little bit more tankiness out of the side of ESG, but we'll see what they pick here in the next phase.
well, with Xin Zhao on the spot and Fridge in this situation, we saw him play Malzahar last time in the top side, so that was interesting for what it was worth. Let's see what ends up becoming of what happens soon enough. Meanwhile, got a more banning phase to lose here. They only get one ban, and that was basically what they were able to do there.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Filthy Degenerates, but hopefully they can pull through without having many bans. Yep, there's the tank that I expected.
Quite. Meanwhile, the tank of Poppy being the one, I feel may be a risky business decision. Of course, they're trying to use something to cancel out the 3 dashes that they're seeing on the map here. Zac, Ahri, and Yasuo all canceled by a single Poppy W. And because of this allows a lot more flexibility to the lockdown, to the CC, to the potential plans and plays.
And just another thing to keep off the backline of Caitlyn so she can get more autos out dealing damage to Filthy Degenerates.
FD Poppers securing the Lucian. So now we're looking at the support left here. And
I like the Lucian and the Lulu pick actually, because even though they will be able to get out a lot of early pressure with those 2 picks, and there's a lot of outplay potential with the Lucian E.
Yeah, I do find it a bit a little uncommon though. Usually when you have a Lulu, you want to use it for a hyper carry, like a Twitch or maybe even a Jinx or something like that. Just snowball it. But with a Lucian, I guess a strong polymorph play could really cause a good outburst here. Meanwhile, it will be Morgana support, of course, as Azir is now used in the mid side. I gotta say, lack of tanks by ESG could lead to a very catastrophic overrun by the Filthy Degenerates, as they're aiming for a ridiculous amount of charming burst damage. I'd say that's exactly what they'll be aiming for here to try to win this game out. Question is, can ESG hold off the tide? Well, statistically speaking, it's going to be a rough one for them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like... I think definitely Filthy Degenerates won the team comp. I like theirs more personally, even though they only have one true tank on their team. That's true for both teams, though. So that should be a little bit of an equalizer, not having a lot of tanks on either of the teams.
Well, it's going to be about dealing with pressure, and it's going to be about how to interact with engages. Every one of those champions on ESG side has a way to get rid of the enemy before they make the engage and play. They also have a way to make a decent amount of catch as well. So by logical means, they do have a pretty decent opportunity to win this matchup. But it's the synergy is going to be the biggest thing here, and ESG is going to have to try to make that synergy work.
Yeah, definitely. I think if they make a bad engage, Filthy Degenerates, Morgana can definitely turn the tide of the fight. Just by kind of like, if Zac engages on her and brings her back, he could, kind of mess his whole team up by making them all get stunned by, that Morgana ultimate. And also, they have the Zero Wall and the Poppy ulti will both come in huge, I think, this game if they use them properly to getting both the assassins off them.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. Which side would you rather be on in this situation? I know you said that you picked you liked Filthy Degenerates comp better, but would you rather be on their team right now?
Um, yeah, I like playing with. If for me, looking at a sport point of view, I'd like to be playing with Lucian lane more than the Caitlyn lane, just because it's going to be really hard for that Morgana to hit a binding. I think on that Lucian, and if the Lulu plays right, then it should really be really hard for him to get a catch bot lane without jungle help.
All that makes sense as being a support, but speaking since you are a support, what is your favorite thing to do as a support? And
I like to be early game bully when I play support. I like to maybe be a little bit too aggressive when it comes to playing the lane.
really now, interesting.
Hmm. I know I was known for like my tank picks, like my Braum back in duo, and I didn't. That was kind of a forced thing. I didn't.
Back in your competitive days, of course, yes.
Yeah. But when I play solo queue, I like to play a lot of the enchanters.
I see. I've always been a fan of taking things a little out of the meta in particular for things like this, but honestly, into what we're seeing here, we're definitely seeing a comp that is a little lopsided, I'd say, towards the dashing play. So let's see how that will pay itself out. We're going to have to witness the gameplay for sure from both sides.
Yeah, and then the better players win, right?
Yeah, we'll see also point-wise how skilled they are into their champions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at this right now, spreading around the points evenly. We've got Kopek seeming to be the highest point on the side of ESG, and in general, with over 390 on the 1,000-point part of Azir. Pretty good stuff. We have Yasuo being the high... Nope, never mind. Poppers. Lucian is the highest one on their side. The lowest one in the game appears to be Sean Bay, as he's got to play this Zac here. 9,000 points on the Zac. None of too complicated kind of thing, but you know.
Yeah, there's a couple of things you can do with Zac in the jungle, though, like pull the blue buff over and take the ramp at the same time. That I've seen done with Zac a few times. That not all people will do, especially in lower elos, but hopefully in gold plat they might, realize their champion strengths and what they can do in the jungle.
So speaking of strengths here, look at that Glacial Augment Yasuo. What do you got to say about that?
I think that it could be viable on him, just to try to slow down the Poppy, since she does stop a lot of his dash potential. So maybe he's just trying to stick onto her like a glue so he doesn't have to use those dashes to catch up. Maybe that's the logic behind it.
Perhaps, but it's a definitely rare thing to witness, for sure.
I don't know what active he's going to take for that, but we'll have to see.
Uh-huh. Well, right now, it's about seeing what ESG will do this time around. I haven't seen any invades by them work successfully, but they definitely have the kit and tools to do it. They are very already taking a beeline route for the Tribush. Let's see who they'll be able to catch. And it appears that there will be no vision line whatsoever by the enemy team here. They will be able to get a surprise here. And, by the way, they already ruined what would have been a good catch here. Let's see what happens now. They get right into the Tribush. There's nobody here yet, as they basically have a 5-man set here. They're already making the rotatos around. And this is a very huge misplay by Filthy Degenerates. Let's see if this is going to lead to something. Lucian going to come around the side. He's going to whiff out Rupture. Popper's got to be careful on the E. The Q will miss its target, and he does time the E efficiently, and that will be the end of that, as the invade nearly was successful by ESG already. So, was that the right call?
I don't know, because my client didn't get to catch any of that because it was collided. So.
Oh, that's the worst possible outcome. Hopefully you'll be able to get yourself into client soon.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, an invade, I think it's worth if you don't lose anything necessarily from it. They probably already know whether he's going to start, so that isn't, Xin Zhao doesn't really start at his blue buff too often. So unless if he gets the bot lane leash, so they'll probably know where he's going anyway. But yeah, I don't think an invade would be a bad call.
Well, it certainly led them to trying something, and it doesn't seem to have paid off. Laning phase is already beginning on all sides of the map here. Xin Zhao trying to get that early lead against Zac. Meanwhile, Fridge is the big question here. Can he manage to win at the top side against Yasuo?
Fridge and Duo is godlike, so I can only imagine what he would.
Well, like, already making good trades. Fridge is now dropping down to a half health bar. Quick engage onto Casey in the jungle side. He's going to get the knock up on Zac. Last auto does not come through fully. Fridge keeping the trade against Atwell, and Fridge barely able to survive as the Yasuo is easily getting these edges in the trade. Once again, some more fighting, and Atwell is winning those fights. Well, we're waiting around a little bit here. Hopefully you'll be able to get right into the game soon so you can jump right in. Let me know if you are in the game.
Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I get this problem fixed.
Kopek forced to retreat as Ari's pressure was a bit too much there. Sean is going to smite well enough here. The knockup will be canceled out. And because of this, Yasuo, Xin Zhao still trying to pressure. Ari going to come around to the side. Yasuo has refusing to leave, but Xin Zhao will have to abandon the Zac kill as he gets the passive. Flash used by the Lulu to prevent the lockdown by Rupture. Casey going to come up here. Atwell going to get rid of the barrier first. Knockup comes online. Bridge misses the Q. Atwell dancing away. Bridge stops him from getting one dash away. He's going to get some damage here. Can he get one more auto up? No, Atwell times the W, is in the perfect position for the jump over the wall and gets it. That's a quick escape for him as Fridge and Xin Zhao are committing to the chase. A flash used. Slow comes in. Fridge gets the last auto attack on the passive, and Xin Zhao chases and gets Sean Bay. Q by Rupture, so far off target. Combo lands in, but Arum Blade's damage is not enough. ESG really trying to force commitment to come through, and they were able to get some success in the top half, but not so much in the bot. To this point, we're still wondering if my co-caster can finally get his issue fixed out.
It should be good. I'm logging back in the league right now.
Hooray! Hopefully you'll be able to join in on this. Rage trying to punish Atwell. The block out to get some damage onto Atwell for free. Atwell without the Conqueror is definitely going to be a really bizarre champion this game. See what happens. This gameplay, unfortunately, seems to have been set to a standstill, as it looks like the gameplay is about to pick up some pace. Already getting level 6 there. Kopek avoiding what could have been a quick catch and kill, as ESG has a small lead building up very quickly. Morgana coming around the side, might be able to get a sneaky play. Atwell will end up inadvertently stepping on the Q. Yasuo's farm is really impressive this game. Kopek taking a heavy trade. Caleb prowling, waiting for Kopek to miss position. Atwell takes some nasty damage. Fridge is punishing a little bit this time around. Morgana gets comboed. The spell shield does not come up in time, and Casey, by the way, takes out the Ahri in the mid side, as in bot side, RM Blade watches the support die. To this point, we're simply waiting again to see if my casting partner is finally ready to get into this game.
Well, I'm ready. Is my computer ready?
Exactly. And it looks like you must be having one of those bugs where the client just doesn't work for you. I've had that happen to me once before, of course. So if you can't seem to make it work, I understand. I guess I'll be turning this into a solo cast after all. But
yeah.
Let me know if every attempt has still not worked.
Yeah, I tried to reconnect and it doesn't seem to work.
It's happened to me before, so I understand about the bug. I guess this will probably become a solo cast soon enough. And if it does, well, I already know what I'm going to do for that.
Alright, well, treat it like a solo cast. I'll let you know if I can make it back in.
Fair enough. Okay, so a little lockdown onto Lulu here. Doesn't seem to be too much pressure building up as they're trying to get as much trade as possible. Atwell here, prepping up a knock-up. Is going to land it, of course. The bot lane's trying to get some advantage against the combo. Oh, actually does manage to get it nicely. Almost enough damage. All going to go off. Glove saved by Popper. Doesn't seem to be too much close encounters so far between the ESG. That is what I meant to say. Close encounters. Q somehow barely not enough damage. Iron Blade's going to go for the all-in here. Ignite will activate. Poppers is going to run low. Goes to use for an ultimate defensively. Snare. Glove saved by the minion, and Rapture is going to now wish that that didn't miss. Meanwhile, on the mid side, Zinzao gets caught out. The damage was too much, and Ahri gets the kill instead. Rapture stops the Zac from taking out his own life as he retreats. Every play on the map is so much conflict. Atwell does manage to keep the fight going. Can this be enough damage? Bridge needs his E cooldown to come back off. He's going to get the Q to come off cooldown instead, and Atwell goes down. We don't normally see a Yasuo going Glacial Augment versus a tank matchup, but we're learning right now as to why we don't see that often. His damage is falling just a few inches short every time he goes for those engages. With everything that seems to be slowing down in pace, Zac begins to move to the riverside. As he is moving down to the river, it is Caitlyn trying to keep Zac away from any ganking potentials right now. Caleb moving up to try to catch a Kopek. Charm does not connect, and that's a vital charm. The charm so far is the only difference between Kopek and Caleb from a decent fight between each other. And that's essentially the life-threateningest part of RECC. Well, certainly, despite the cooldown, despite the critical damage he manages to establish so far, he's unable to really get it consistently. and which is making this the issue. Poppy, now the bigger gun here. Trying to fit damage. Atwell. Knockup will be dodged this time. Fridge niftily dodges it. RM Blade, Black Shield still up. Going to help out a little bit. Poppers is being pushed back, and Sean's going to get a little bit of alt action on top of him. Case is going to go for the flash combo. Worked out well. Fridge came in with a TP2 to make that even easier of a play. And they will get themselves a tower after that short intermission.
Second back. What does spectator for you?
It is 12 minutes and 30 seconds. 31, 32, 33.
All right, I'm back with you.
All right. Well, I finally have someone to talk with. Nice.
Yeah.
So what you just missed is a 4-man bot side by ESG as they managed to take out the tower with that combo. And it looks like they're going to try to take themselves a red buff, and they will successfully do so.
I'd like to see maybe Poppy or someone recall sooner and try to go somewhere else on the map and create some more pressure. But nothing wrong with what they're doing now, rotating mid. If they do decide to try to fight for that tower or get vision somewhere else.
Objectives, objectives, objectives.
Of course.
So, Caleb here. Already starting. Oh wait, I think I'm starting to hear myself in your background.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, for a second there I was, but now I'm not.
Alright, I turned you down.
Okay. So Azir now is topside, so is Poppy, as Caitlyn is the only one defending mid tower, as Lucian is the only one defending bot tower, is trying to siege in bot tower. They're going to go ahead and try to take the Herald here as well.
They're going to spot him out here. We're going to see if they can... They're probably going to get pushed off, but we're going to see if they're going to fight for this Rift Herald.
Well, waiting to take the blast gun. He's going to take it right now. Poppy damaging up the Lulu. The combo too much for Caitlyn. Caleb takes him out. Yasuo gets flown and tossed right out of that one. Ultimate used, and Fridge will guarantee there's going to be a kill here. Before he goes down, he's going to set up a kill for Kopek. Kopek's going to get some reinforcements by Atwell. The knockup comes in. The ultimate by Yasuo might buy him enough time. No, it won't. Casey takes the kill, and the 4v2 situation in the favor for ESG.
Yeah, I think that was a really bad call for Rift Herald right there. They should have backed off once they've seen that they're taking it. There's no way after the fight, after the initial kills, that they're going to win that fight.
ESG starting to build some early momentum. We've seen this once before. Will it happen again? Herald now secured. Casey's going to pick it up. And they now have themselves an opportunity to get themselves a mid tower. Skopek tried to get one more tower before anything happens. But it's Poppers at bot side that's going to get the tower to fall first.
Yeah. Trading the bot tower after all that devastation happened topside is just a little bit of relief from the bleeding.
Yeah, so going to engage Kopek, trying to walk away, but the Glacial Augment doing too much. Knockup comes up. No ultimate by Yasuo is off cooldown now. Xin Zhao has arrived. He's going to try to go on to Atwell. Atwell finally has his ultimate here. This might be the one that saves his life. Here is the help, but it's too late. Casey catches the Yasuo for the kill. The double knockup on this Zac could only help out so well. Ari's completely locked down here. The damage, Caleb, only one auto to go. The Q barely not touching the target. And Filthy Degenerates are falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, they decided that, we all decided that top ones. Why don't we just go replay it back? But this is really good for ESG. Right now, with all these towers and gold and Rift Herald ahead, I can not see them losing this game right now, to be honest, with how much pressure they have.
Very much amount of damage and very much amount of pressure due to Yasuo no longer having the crucial Conqueror item rune. He is now doing the Glacial Augment instead, and I think that's starting to show the lack of damage is starting to really convince Atwell that this is an unfortunate rune that he has.
Looks like his three crafting really did backfire on him this time.
Well, whether it was theory crafting or an accidental rune, it's certainly backfiring heavily against Atwell. Meanwhile, Infernal Drake up and running. This is a huge Drake for this team to have. They need the damage. They're going to go ahead and start it up. Azir's not going to be there in time. Fridge is already moving into position. The charm will connect onto Poppy. Poppy taking a huge chunk of damage. He's going to lock down the Lulu. The knockups are coming in. Atwell taking some damage. Sturdy's is going to go down here. The Infernal Drake will be taken down as well. Two more of the side of Filthy Degenerates are still alive. Poppy's going to get some lockdown on the Poppers. Poppers gets taken out with the headshot. And it's up to Sean Bean for a last-second jump across. He tries it, but doesn't get the range distance. His smite was out of range by a centimeter, and he doesn't get the smite in time. Casey takes it, and that's a red buff. That's exactly what ESG needs. ESG with an unbelievable amount of lead here. There are so many people that wouldn't be believing what's happening right now. Kopek with a surprising Shurima shuffle out of nowhere and sets up the huge kill to get the ace on Filthy Degenerates. I didn't even know Kopek could even do the Shurima shuffle.
Well, with that many points in Azir, I would hope so.
I know, right? And ESG is having a 11 kill lead against their opponents for the first time I've ever seen in their entire history.
I feel like a lot of this lead is caused by Filthy Degenerates just walking on two objectives and just basically asking ESG if they want to, fight again. And the fights every time are going over to the ESG.
Usually rarely see these type of circumstances. Caitlyn deciding not to use the traps on the line side of the base, but instead to do it if they do engage. Interesting decision. He hovers around his trap. Knockup will not come in. Cancels out the parry. Kopek uses his ultimate, and Casey will take that kill on Zach. FD Atwell trying everything he can, but the rupture snare catches out the Lucian. Caleb gonna take advantage. One auto attack away. The turret's not gonna do enough, and Azir's turret was just not enough, and it's a 2 for 2 as it looks to be ESG going to retreat after that siege.
I think that was a good engage by Filthy Degenerates there, forcing them off their base, because if they just let them siege, then we might not see an inhibitor right there,
Life has been sprung into the ESG fan base. They can't believe what they're seeing. The team of ESG almost looks like they're completely different people as life has been shot into their veins.
Fridge compels them.
Are the lovable losers no longer the losers? For the first time in the series.
It looks like they're the winners to me in this game. We'll see how their late game shot calling comes in here. It's about 20 minutes, which is late game nowadays, isn't it?
To be honest, I'm more shocked. I'm expecting something crazy to happen soon. Caleb, by the way, hovering around the side here. The Poppy pick has been legendarily good here as their ability to cancel out their engages. The dashing cancellations are really heavily hindering this team. Who would have thought that Poppy canceling out these dashes were going to hinder Filthy Degenerates so harshly?
I think you said something about it in Champs League, didn't you, Army?
I know, but who would have thought it would be this effective? I didn't think that. I certainly didn't think that at all.
No, I didn't know how effective it was going to be, but it's definitely showing it in this game.
Zach certainly is struggling heavily purely because every engage he attempts has got him isolated every time he jumps in there. And Yasuo, without the damage output, has decided to steer clear from a very vital edge to go right for a health percentage damage item. By the way, Iron Blade looks a little clot here. Morgana gonna help out. Caleb's charm doesn't do enough to get through that barrier. Poppy trying to overpower the Yasuo at the bot side. Fridge, can he win it? He's got one more auto attack to do so. Yasuo will continue that fight at bot side. At the top side, it's another catch. Fridge overpowers Atwell. On the other side of the map, he does win the fight. And Filthy Degenerates are falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, this game is heavily one-sided right now. That was a really good Black Shield by Morgana on the Caitlyn when Ari went for that charm, because if she didn't get that up in time, that fight might have been going the other way.
I have yet seen a Fridge solo kill in the history of his entire competitive scene. He has lost so many, and for the first time, we're seeing him overpower a Yasuo in a 1v1.
Yeah, Fridge is definitely putting on his big boy pants today.
Absolutely. This game
Typical.
is well in the favor of ESG, but we have seen
Yeah.
them ahead once before. Not as far ahead as this one, though. This one's insane. It all comes down to how this one will work out. By the way, Yasuo here, huge item decided not to buy. Goes for the Blade of the Ruined King instead of the Edge. Without the 100% crit, he is not going to be able to have a strong damage outburst, which is causing Atwell to realize, holy moly, this rune is really throwing him back.
Yeah, he is definitely not enjoying enjoying this game right now.
The Cloud Drake in the hands of ESG. They could not be in a better position. They have great movement speed, great damage output. They are ahead by several items compared to their opponents. This could not be any better for ESG to come out with the victory here.
If I was ESG, I'd just run it into their base right now. There's nothing they can do 5v5 right now, I don't think, with a 12k gold lead.
Ari trying to shove in mid side. The bot lane's being shoved in, and the lack of rotations is going to lead to what could be an instant tower drop. Let's see what happens. Yasuo going to go for the walls, denying and trying the best he can to hold off. After that, the tower will be destroyed. Yasuo goes to the knock-up and will not go anywhere. Hurricane does not connect. Organa trying to get a bind. The charm connects onto Auron Blade. Auron Blade's getting risky here. Knock-up comes in, but the cancellation. Poppy, multiple ultimates flying off the map. Atwell is going to go down first. Rupture is the one to do so. And Zac will go down. Caleb is the one to take out the Morgana, but Kopak takes out the Zac. Auron Blade's ultimate will find a target, and he takes him down. The Lucian and Lulu are the last ones on the map. ESG, I can't believe it. They're about to take the last two Nexus towers. They're gonna win. They're actually gonna win.
Well, maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet. They're right there, though. They're right there. One more tower. The Lulu goes down by Kopak. I can't believe it. ESG's about to win. The auto attacks onto the Nexus. The greed perhaps is too strong. Auron Blade's trying to go for the tower. He headshots the Yasuo. The last auto attack by Kopak. We have a winner. ESG has done it. They won. They actually won.
ESG pulls through big time.
Oh
This is
my
unbelievable.
goodness. They did it. They actually did it. Oh my goodness. What was the longest losing streak I have ever seen in my casting history has come to an abrupt end. What an unbelievable win. Unbelievable. What an incredible game. What an unbelievable game. We gotta get someone in this right now. We gotta talk to somebody from ESG for an interview. They deserve it. I will let them decide who they want for that interview. But for now, you can go ahead. If any ESG member is around, please jump into the watch party. See if they can be interested in their situation. You know the funny thing about ESG, they always find a way that they manage to just keep the games interesting at all times, which is something that you gotta love about them. They deserve this win today with their competitive advantage. Let's see who is the one that will be the one who wishes to be interviewed. Kopak, I see one. Fridge, I see another. I see two here. I'm sure one of them wants to be the one that gets interviewed today. One of them will be the one. I don't know who exactly. I'm sure one of our staff will probably bring him in the one that will do it. I don't know if it's a double interview or not, but we'll certainly find out. It's definitely an incredible experience. It's a rare occasion to see ESG dominate like this. The entire ESG lobby has decided to go join the watch party as they're celebrating an incredible victory.
Yes, that was really good by ESG. They're They looked really clean in that game. I
They've
haven't. They wouldn't look like a losing team to you
no,
if
they
you watch that game in isolation.
yeah, no, they did not. No, they did not. Well, I'm gonna assume Fridge is the one who wants to do this. I don't know. Somebody will tell me who's the one who wants to do the interview. So I assume Fridge is the one who wants to do it. I'll go ahead and drag him in here and see if he wants to. Hey, Fridge,
Yeah, hello.
do you want to do this interview or do you want one of your
I
friends to do
can.
it?
It don't matter. I can do an interview.
All right. Well, Fridge.
Yes, sir.
So, it's been a road. It's been a long road for ESG.
It has been a road.
It's been a very, very long one. You guys have been staring down what will be one of the longest gameplays of my experience watching you guys over the years. Um, to see you guys come out with this big win early in the season, going into week 2, big win. How do you guys feel about that victory? Did everything just fall into place? How do you feel about this victory? Also, I have another question later on, but first,
Oh, okay. Well, obviously we feel pretty good about picking up the victory here. We actually were gonna have me on something like Scion, but as soon as they started hovering the Zac, I was like, dude, they locked it in. I'm just playing Poppy because. But then they just picked everything that had dashes, so it just made sense to go that route.
I mean, it was a perfect decision to go for the counter pick. So here you are, Atwell versus you in the top side. You fought him in a 1v1 situation. To run through your mind essentially how all of that fighting was going down, because you basically had a lot of time to process that with as you are a Poppy and he had Glacial Augment. How did that feel?
Yeah, we were a little confused about the Glacial Augment. We kind of talked to him for a minute here after, and it sounds like it was a mistake, but I just assumed that I haven't been watching much of the LCS. I was like, who's been playing Glacial Augment Yasuo or something in the LCS? But
Right.
sounds like that was a bit of a mistake. I think had he done Conqueror, that probably would have dumpstered me a little bit for a while there.
Well, you have. I'm not trying to be rude to you at all when I say this, but you've rarely won 1v1 fights in these situations, so it's very refreshing and nice to see you able to dominate in the top side position well through 1v1 conflict. It's really good stuff. Like it's really good. To that point, you got a 1v1 against him at the bot side again, and my goodness, it was a heck of a battle. Did you feel like you were going to lose that one that time when you fought him there?
I felt like I was strong enough. Now, again, if he'd had Conqueror, he probably would have had no issue there. But I felt like at that point I was strong enough with Iceborne Gauntlet and Sunfire Cape.
You certainly
to
were.
deal with it.
You certainly were. You managed to come out with a win at the very last moment. Our camera had to deal with Kopek and all the other decisions that were going on. ESG's first regular season win of this season so far for Affinity Gaming. Fridge, wow, what an incredible one. Attain, you got anything? Any questions for Fridge?
Yeah, Fridge. How does it feel getting this win? Like, what is your feelings on it?
To be completely honest, I didn't even know I was playing this weekend. So for me, it's kind of nice to come in and, I guess, be able to compete and sort of hold my own. I know I fell behind in CS, but I just knew that if I could not int, I would be pretty good in team fights as long as I use steadfast presence correctly. And I guess we're all just pretty happy to come away with the win on this. I think we did a lot right as a team.
You most certainly did. It was very nice.
That.
Oh, sorry. I should have let you finish.
No, that's all right. I don't have anything else.
Ladies and gentlemen, ESG's top laner for sub, of course, Fridge. Fridge, thank you very much for joining a part of this interview. We really appreciate it. You coming in for this, and
thanks for having me.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way, on your team for the win. Just incredible, just an incredible big win. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. See, I will hopefully see you guys on the desk next week. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'll be excited. Well, anyway.
All right.
See you guys.
All right. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm. Well, that will just about do the interview for this game. We have about some minutes left before the next one coming up, so we'll be getting ourselves a little bit ready for that gameplay. Atane and I will be taking a small break, and he will go ahead and mute himself while I go ahead and get myself ready for the next game to come. What an incredible Game 1 experience as ESG has managed to come up with a victory. We have the next All-Stars versus the Yeehaws going into the next game. Let's see how well that works out. We'll be right back, folks. See you soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to some more gameplay action. We got a little bit of an interview last time. We were quite fortunate to get some good timing on that one, but this time around, we've got some new teams coming around here. But we got the same old casters. Dane, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Hopefully, no client problems. No promises, though.
Yeah, no promises indeed. Speaking of no promises, there's no guarantee we've got ourselves a winner on either side here. Let's get right into the ban and pick phase. Let's take a look. It's Next All-Stars versus the Yeehaws.
Yeah, it looks like next, both of these teams actually banning out junglers for the first round. Let's be scared of the jungle pressure that both these champions provide, especially Nunu's, objective pressure that he brings in team play.
Indeed. Definitely going to be something to concern yourselves over, especially with the overwhelming amount of pressure gameplay that it needs to be established well early into these matchups. Definitely early game is something that the Yeehaws are certainly love doing. Will they be able to pull it off this time around against the next All-Stars? Well, that's definitely something for discussion.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like Kane and Lissandra banned next. Both of these are pretty good bans. I see a lot of Lissandra's solo queue. Maybe RC it doesn't do too well against them, or maybe they just maybe Matthew plays Lissandra especially well. I'm not quite sure which of those it is.
To this point, they're definitely taking away some pocket pick options, and RC's Katarina is finally going to be banned away here going into week number 2, day number 2. Finally, he will no longer be able to play out his main. Very unfortunate. Let's see what happens this time around as we happen to dig a little deeper into that hole.
Yeah, taking away the Katarina against someone who is very potent on her is really good to do. And taking away the Vayne, I don't know how good slow Q's is on it, but taking away potentially lethal Vayne is really good too.
Oh yes.
I think we got the Ezreal locked in for his long range harass in bot lane, and Galio, not quite sure where that's going yet, but I'm sure he's going to be really pivotal for the Yeehaws. Looks like this Warwick jungle locked in.
Little Ezreal, little Galio, little Warwick. Seems to be pretty nice little Rochambeau champions already being dropped around here.
Yeah, some classics. I guess new Galio isn't such a classic, but old Galio was.
Yes, of course Galio being a strong champion for engaging purposes, but let's take a look at the Vi option here. A little
Vi I think goes even with Warwick in the early game, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, this is a new Vi after all, since the patch changes. We don't know if this Vi will be in an equal match against this Warwick, superior or worse. So, I guess.
We see him firsthand.
Yes, we will. Math Geek finishing it out with a Syndra, and RC looking at a Camille choice, probably going to give this one over to Karuko Kills. I'm sure he'll be able to make the most out of that as Smart Gamer keeps the Warwick.
That looks starting to look more and more like Galio's support as these two camps come together, but we'll see where it goes in the end. Noxus banned away because Kuroko doesn't want to play against the dog today, and the Jinx banned away on the side of next All-Stars.
Indeed.
I like the Syndra pick here that they picked a couple picks ago and before the banning phase begun. Syndra is really good blind just because she's one of the most safe with laner she can play without knowing who they're gonna pick.
Indeed. Still up for discussion, really, as to how everything is going to be synergizing well off of each other. Considering Galio is definitely going to have a good time with the Camille and the Warwick ult. Talk about your lockdowns. Like, someone gets caught, you might as well just check them off. They're just done. But if it's Warwick catching an Ezreal, oh boy, that's a Camille and a Galio and a literal Comet Also, we got a Nico in here. Wait a second. Is that a Galio support or a Nico or a Nico mid? Wait, whoa, what's happening here?
I don't know. Their team comp is definitely unorthodox. I guess it's season 9. Anything could happen, right?
Well, I've heard recently that Nico ADC seems to be a pretty strong one as of late, able to self-heal, creating an ultimate, which basically adds an extra barrier action for Nico's. Been seeing and hearing Nico's ADC seems to be pretty strong. Let's see if that will happen here or not.
They're selecting for some more early game for them. Just so, they don't want to get completely, they don't want to completely blow the scaling count with the Syndra, and I guess Ezreal doesn't scale as hard as they could like to, but definitely help them plant feet in the early game so they don't get behind that area.
And finishes up with a Blitzcrank. So we have a Nico ADC being used for the first time by Super Pop-Tart.
Well, it looks like it's Galio mid. He's not expecting that.
And also not expecting the ADC Nico either. Debut appearance of Nico ADC being used in this position. This is going to be some crazy opportunity here so far. That's going to be fun.
Looking forward to see how this turns out.
Yeah, can Nico ADC really do this much? Well, considering you have a Blitzcrank, you could just use your E to just root them into position to keep them longer, and then just auto-attack them to death. It seems promising. Seems good.
Yeah, I don't know 100% since Blitzcrank, most of the damage from Blitzcrank comes within that initial hook and backup. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll have enough damage even with the extra root, but we'll see.
Oh, wait a second. One of them backed out last second. Looks like that was a really abnormally long one too. I don't know what happened there. Seems a little strange that happened the way it did. I'm getting some messages here. See what happened. The mid laner's power went out. Wow. The mid laner's power went out.
I don't know if that's a really bad excuse or a really good one.
It's a very inconvenient one at that. Never really, gotta say, not lucky. Yeah. Well, it's better than dealing with the pause, in my opinion, of course.
Well, this is basically just another pause, right?
Is it now? I think there's a ruling differences that are basically needing to be addressed here. I'll go ahead and message the staff, see what they're thinking about the situation at hand. Alright, well now I'm asking the staff to come check a look at the situation here, see what the circumstances are going to be for the next All-Stars. This is honestly a really rough one. You rarely see a situation where moments like this break out, and going to be a tough one.
Yeah, highly inconvenient, like you said, for someone's power to go out right before they're going to get in the game. It's really, really unfortunate. Hopefully are they gonna have to FF, or I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, neither do I. And it'd be a really inconvenient situation here, as this game looked very fun and interesting, especially with the Nico ADC.
Yeah, I was looking forward to how that would turn out.
Yeah, I mean, jumping right into a competitive match with Nico ADC just seemed like a really risky decision for some pretty decent benefit.
Looks like in general chat they're talking about finding an E-sub, maybe perhaps. So we might be seeing this game yet play out.
Well, I'll go ahead and making the scene transition here. We'll be waiting to see what our official call is soon enough. So for now, guys, we're going to go ahead and be right back and find out some information as you guys enjoy the music. We'll be right back.
stream is still paused, right? They can't hear me? Yeah, okay. They can? Can you turn it off? So I can't hear.
So what you just witnessed a short while ago was a small interruption, and it was confirmed that the interruption had came from the mid laner. It turned out the mid laner was dealing with some minor issues. It appeared to be a power outage that happened. Thankfully, it wasn't a very severe one, as he was able to return quickly and Math Geek is able to play. So for everyone who's concerned, same picks, same bands, everything's going to be exactly the same, and hopefully we'll be able to jump right into the game momentarily. Let's get right into what we did a short while ago, another repeat of the picks and bans as they are going off right now. Attain, you're still with me, right?
Oh yeah, I'm here, Army. I'm just letting you do your spiel.
Of course. I like spieling.
I noticed. It's alright though.
They call me Spielman.
Yeah.
Dang it, man! You didn't even. It's like expecting you to set me up and all that to do a joke. Ah, it's ruined. It's all ruined.
Army, it's okay.
Oh, well, you know. Well, as these are all kind of coming together here, I suppose we could talk a little bit about the picks and bans and what they all equivalent to. Well, with the Nico coming in here, their team comp is definitely a lockdown comp if I've ever seen one. You just grab
Yeah.
them, you hold them in place. You jump them, you hold them in place. You Camille ult, you hold them in place. You Galio ult, you knock them up to oblivion.
Yeah,
Well,
they're definitely going to be looking for a lot of skirmishes in the early game, and they're going to have to be careful about not using it down on one person and be like, oh, wait a minute, don't have anything else to know for the rest of the team. So we got to try to share that love around.
oh yes. We're certainly going to need that love to be shared well. Well, our big questioning concerns are now, what exactly is the plan for next All-Stars, not All-Stars.
Not all stars. That
Yeah,
Man.
the next All-Stars, my bad.
maybe if they keep losing them, but right now, their plan. Let me see. I can't remember what their support was. Wasn't it
Karma.
All right. So it looks like they're just. It kind of looks like they have elements of like a poke / split push gap, where they have they have the disengage with the Karma E. So if they try to engage on the main three or four people they send mid lane, they can all get away. But with the Warwick engage and Commune engage, it might be really hard for them to run like a split camp. So prepare for them to can either split or poke down turrets and whatnot.
Yes. Just prepare for some of that. But also prepare for some crazy interactions as well. We're going to see some crazy auto attack animations by this Nico. Let's see if it works out well. I don't know what the build path for the Nico is, since it's an on-hit build, so wouldn't that mean we're seeing a Rage Blade, we're seeing some Blade of the Ruined King stuff? Like, we're seeing the crit Nico here? Like, what's happening?
I don't want to say anything for sure. I know that people have built on hit Nico and higher elos, like Challenger MMR.
Yeah.
People go on hit Nico, but I don't remember what the build is right now, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Syndra decided to go with Ignite this time, trying to add some extra damage pressure to go in with the all-in ball combo. So the big question is the poke game going to make a big enough of a difference here for next All-Stars? Is they're going to need every amount of synergy from their kits and abilities to make this work. Darius is obviously the big factor here, able to get a dunk synergy going off and might be able to spread the love around with some crazy damage.
Yeah, I definitely think Darius getting ahead would be really, really big for them to help make him just an unstoppable monster top lane if they decide to go that split push route, split siege route. They definitely don't want to be taking unnecessary fights in the jungle because they have the Galio and the Warwick can be just right around the corner and Blitzcrank can pull you from anywhere. So they definitely want to play in the lanes and for the towers. But if they decide that they want to go for a bunch of objectives, they might find themselves like losing this game.
Well, we'll see how everything falls together as we go counting on to the last minutes here. I'm definitely loving the idea of the Nico ADC. Nico's been one of my favorite champions to play as for a little while now. She's been a very fun little champion to play as a support. Very much fell in love with it. But so far, we're not seeing that right now, yeah.
I seen that your, what's that, border icon was Nico when I hovered over your profile.
Oh. Oh no. Yes. Like the champion quite a bit. So I'm gonna have to be rooting for the Yeehas here. The Nico, I think, is a fun champion for that exact reason.
You're supposed to be unbiased.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta have biased opinions, you know? In Unbiased Cast, you gotta have biased opinions.
I guess I'm gonna have to be rooting for your next best All-Stars then.
Alright, I would be expecting, how's this then? I'd be expecting the Yeehas to win this because of the fact that they've got the Nico element here.
Oh yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's expectations and assumptions. See, that's different.
I feel like a lot of teams, I'm gonna tell you why I like Yeeha's team comp. I feel like a lot of teams in competitive play think just because it's competitive, you gotta play more together, so they group a lot more, when that isn't necessarily the case, because grouping 5v5 against the Yeeha's team might not be the best idea, I don't think, for next best All-Stars to do.
Yeah, it's about hedging, and you don't really need your entire team to catch one person. At least you need just enough to kill them, of course, but not everybody. Still, they've got a really nice little play. They can just, if anyone steps out of line, they're going to punish them heavily, and nothing quite like a blitzcrank for that exact reason as well. So let's take a look at the loading screen, see how much experience this Nico that we're witnessing has here. We're looking at the points here. Karma appears to be the lowest one in this one, as we see Nico is hovering around the 4 in the mastery of the champion. Warwick almost getting closer and closer to that 6-digit number. We'll get there one day, but that Vi, oh boy, has quite the big 6-digit number. 344 in the 1,000-point digit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the most I've ever seen, but you know, that's quite a lot of points to buy.
Quite a lot indeed. Karma with barely any at all. So let's hope Rito No Ban Plucks can make some great plays out of the champion. Doesn't seem to even have a skin either for this champion as well.
Yeah, maybe it was just kind of an arbitrary pick. We're like, yeah, let's play Karma today, boys. But
Let's hope
I
that
don't know it.
yeah, let's hope the damage output will be well as well. By the way, this Nico going for press the attack on this auto-attacking spree that she'll be pulling off, and I'd say that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too. I can't see her taking Conquer or Blade Footwork in that tree, so I feel like press attack would be best. I might be see her taking like maybe like Airy or Comet. That might be good, but I don't know.
Indeed.
All the other runes look pretty standard though.
So I gotta be honest, what's gonna be really fun to witness as well is Nico's rotationable ability. She could impersonate anyone, which means she could technically fake a gank from one side, while the real Warwick can come from the other side, or Camille and company. Invades planning are starting to form up by both sides as they're expecting an invade coming in somewhere. Right now, we only have, well, we had an invade strat, but now it seems to be a complete back-off plan going on between the two.
That was a really good ward there by the camera. They're gonna see Yeehaws come in when they decide to come in.
But it looks like they're not going to do that. In fact, they're just retreating back to the normal queue positioning. So I think that will just about do it here. As next All-Stars are really partying down here. They have about 30 seconds to get back to their bases. Darius, you might want to back right now. You're going to be late to that wave. Guys, might want to...
I don't know how.
He's going to walk the whole distance. Oh my goodness. Gotta take blast clones along the way here. He's gonna be a long while before he gets to that wave.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna lose out on pressure in the first wave, but he might be able to get it back since he's Darius.
It's kind of a strange decision to miss waves like that, but this will be Camille getting some of that pressure, as you mentioned earlier. By the way, Warwick somehow in that ended up still losing out to the Vi in the race for the buff.
Yeah, I think just because bot lane leash for them level 1 is better.
I suppose so. One thing that definitely needs to be established early is the Darius's advantage. Can it go well? Let's find out.
Looks like they're just typical landing phase stuff. Not much going on up top.
No, not much yet. We'll see what level 3 brings for those two. Meanwhile,
Vi's coming up top too. That might be something to
Root
watch.
does connect. He's going to get some free auto attacks onto Riot. And a nifty dodge by Karma avoids what could have been an instant death there, as Ezreal's going to get some free autos back. That could have been a forced flash and ignite being dropped by Blitz. That could have ended up leading to Rito going down.
Yeah, instead misses the hook and gives up a lot of lane pressure, but he'll get it back as soon as that hook comes back up.
Meanwhile, top side looks to be Vi walking up, just saying, "Hey, buddy, I'm gonna be arriving later in the match, so I'll check in now and see you soon."
Yeah, that's Warwick know that Vi's top side though. So.
Let's see. Warwick gonna come right on in. Here we have Darius gonna use the flash early, and Warwick will not get the fear off in time for the combo, and it will be a quick escape for sure for Darius. RC is usually playing assassin mid laners, at least the ones that I've seen, so he's going to be playing a little bit of a bulky champion this time that doesn't really assassinate as much.
Well, you don't know full AP Galio well, do you?
Oh, at least not the Galio of full AP from the past. That was actually pretty strong. This one of this patch, I don't know if it's as strong.
Yeah, probably not, but...
Here we go. Vi gonna come in. RC just gonna jump away there and say, sorry, Vi, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Ooh, the root! Oh, that was a guarantee. The animation looked like Nico hit the Ezreal there, but it just wasn't close enough.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too late to hit. 3 people on the bot side. Might see a fight down there soon.
Little bit of long-range Q shotting going on for Karma. She's trying everything she can to keep that bot lane that's very aggressive low, so they don't make a play. Ezreal picking up some Cleptomancy stacks so far, but Darius going to take a nice trade on to the Camille yet again. Just playing a little too close there, and is not really respecting the quick engaging that Darius is able to do pretty fast with the pull animation.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna have to start playing not as aggressive if she wants to stay in this lane. But looks like no junglers are going for the dragon yet.
Here we go. Oh, Q goes a little wide on the shot.
But looking to do invade for against the work.
Ezreal looking caught for a second there. Unfortunately, it's the Nico who is the one that takes most of the trades there. Hook the Booty has not found an angle at all this entire laning phase so far, and it's a little surprising. You have an ADC that is actually holding off the target for well over a great amount of time. Looks like, I would say, easily over about a second for a root, and that should be pretty easy to get. Oh, he goes for a little head fake, and RC is going to take a big trade after all. Warwick going to come in, scaring the Vi, and that'll be all that happens between that interaction.
Yeah, not much that ended up happening there in the end. Just junglers will show up mid and nothing really gets accomplished. Guess it does force Gallia at the back though.
Yes.
Darius TP up top lane. That means he won't have it for the foreseeable future. So that could be big disadvantage for the next All Stars for Dragon Fight.
Yes,
comes up soon.
Yes, definitely a very vital objective to control this one. And Karma firing more poke shots to keep the Blitzcrank low. Hook the Booty's been having a difficult time this entire laning phase. Anyway, oh, surprise catch. Vi's got nowhere to go this time. He gets the uppercut leg strike to finish him off as he cuts him purely in half. And it looks like Vi's aggressive counter jungle has backfired and gives a free kill to the Sheen of Camille. Hook the Booty gonna try to be aggressive here. He's losing too much health bar, and he's having a miserable time in this lane.
Yeah, not good for that bot lane right now.
Hook the Booty gonna run low, and it's not gonna be low enough. No flash at all by slow Qs, as he's gonna continue to do with this. Blitzcrank's gotta figure out a new plan. He's definitely struggling with every poke this game.
That's an advantage a poke support like Karma can bring in the early game against a tank support like Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank can't really do anything if he gets hit by those Qs early game. Because even if he pulls them, might die just by bringing them closer to him, rather.
I always notice something interesting about the Nico auto animation. When you get to the third one, the empowered one, that's the one where Nico can basically auto attack really, really fast. Faster than the auto attack that you're naturally able to do, which is actually something that is really valuable to the ADC Nico, because that basically means you can set up a quick auto attack when you need it. Mad Geek gonna take a light trade by RC as he's trying to get him to back away from the wave.
Yeah, seem to be pretty effective at doing that. Galio looking to get some vision maybe in the river. Spots out by. Ooh, gets caught by Vi.
Here we are. RC is taking a very rough trade, and Math Geek will capitalize with the Ignite, shortly getting that afterwards, and Warwick just a few steps too behind, and that will be a free kill onto RC. First time he's died in the regular season so far on stream. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah, RC dying there.
Hook the booty. He's finally gets the pull he's been waiting for. The root, unfortunately, was just a little off target. But Nico is getting those auto attacks off, and those empowered autos are really hurting the Ezreal.
Yeah, that burst damage was almost enough to kill her, but Karma just barely able to get alive.
Can Blitz pull off another one? He got it. If he gets this one on Karma again, that's a dead Karma for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm expecting the Karma to play pretty safe after getting hooked at one time. But we'll see what happens. Warwick is in a really good position to take Dragon right now since Vi's on the top side.
Tries to go for the corner pocket there. Seems to hit the wall, and the root will come in. And sadly, Blitzcrank, that was the pull that you could have had on Karma.
Vi's sitting up top lane for a really long time.
That, and this is a really risky decision. He's not. He already gave away a kill and has a assist at this time. Not that far ahead of the Warwick for this kind of play, and he's certainly waiting for a Darius pull here as he has flash.
Well, his Krugs camp just came up, so he doesn't really have anything to do with his jungle right now. He could try to counter jungle the Warwick again, but maybe scared after getting caught the first time.
Still, though, I don't know if the best interest is to just steal experience away from your top laner for that.
No, maybe not, but maybe he's just trying to get a cheesy. Looks like he's just trying to get a cheesy gank off on the Camille.
Anyway, Camille certainly playing it safe. Vi gonna try something here, and out of nowhere, the Q actually misses, but it ends up working out well for the comp anyway. Ultimate used to keep him in there. He's gonna get blocked in, and because of that, it will buy just enough time for Galio to get there as well. Great interaction there at the end of that play. Ezreal got caught for a split second. Best anime will end up going down to RC on the catch. And at bot side, they take out the Ezreal on the Wombo combo finish. Nico's deceptive damage certainly coming out through here well.
That's a very unfortunate series of events for next All-Stars. Having all those members go down puts a sizable gold, or not a sizable one, but puts a gold lead back into Yeeha's advantage.
Bull will swing and it will miss, as this will be the last pressure they have established. So far Yeehaw is definitely taking the lead now in the gold department, sitting at slowly building up to a 1k difference. Oh, never mind. Slowly building up to a 3. It's a very close game.
Yeah,
It's a close
still a
call
very
game.
close game despite the 3 kill difference.
Yeah, farm differences are starting to become a little bit more apparent. The Syndra farm is way ahead of the Galio here as of right now. The game's starting to slow down a little bit here, as we obviously noticed, and it's the big question we have on everyone's mind is, will this be another swing back into the next All-Stars? By the way, they just stole the lead back from the 1,000 gold deficit they were just dealing with, and now it's like back to even again. So their farming differences are really making this much more interesting in the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to pull up that screen right now, actually.
You press X in order to find out the differences between the champions in the farm category. Like if you press X on it, your screen will change to the money amounts everyone has currently.
Oh, found it.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Army.
Oh yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, build's looking pretty normal out of everyone. I don't see anything too crazy.
Likewise. At least, well, except for the Nico here, except, you know, considering Nikos aren't really supposed to go into attack damage. By the way, was starting the Drake, and is certainly going to regret that one. All going to come up online. He's going to flash before he has the chance to automatically connect, and Lutis is going to try one last CC ultimate. Somehow, doesn't go down. Flash, taunt, connects. Karma going to be completely suppressed, and that will be Warwick grabbing the double kill.
Yeah, not a good play by Next All Stars getting caught out in the river like that. But I thought she had the flank, but really she was the one getting flaked on right there.
Tried to make the most out of that though with the Ezreal ult combo, but it just wasn't enough.
No. Darius is gonna get some tower plating and some free experience up there, but they lose to Clown Drake instead.
That they would. Of course, Darius trying to make the most out of the loss of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's 14 minutes. There is no plates. What am I talking about?
Yeah, it's no longer any place, yes. This point, best anime is going to be engaged upon. Here comes the Galio ultimate to automatically get forced on the knockup. Darius was actually not knocked up in that animation. What?
That was...
He didn't get knocked up. How is that even possible?
It looked like a glitch of a lifetime for Darius to save him there.
And it looks like Hook the Booty got caught out in that attempt to try to take the ward, and he will be permanently slowed, permanently CC'd, and permanently taken out, thanks to the power of the Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yeah, and that was really, really unfortunate for him. I've had that.
Flash, he goes for a risky maneuver. Nico will avoid this as Warwick comes around the side. Mirror is activated. He needs the speed. He's not going to get in time for the range. Riot will escape. Incredible outmaneuverability by this Karma, who's been doing a great job preventing any opportunity for free kills on her this game.
Yeah, definitely turning on the scripts this game.
Just seeing what you can and dodging and doing whatever they're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna catch him a little bit here. RC now knows he can really tank some of these wombo combo sets, despite the Luden's Echo proc.
Yeah, Galio looking really tanky out there right now. With Roy built. I don't know if I can see how many stacks he has on it though. Looks like it's 0.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 1. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Looks like Warwick's getting caught out here.
Galio on the side, smite used to keep the health bar high. By looking even more caught here. Here comes the damage, and he does not have enough to survive this one. Darius is going to try to make this one another kill for the team. RC completely nowhere to go. He gets stunked! And it looks like they're going to take a Herald for this.
That was really good play for Next All Stars right there. Trying to get some of that gold back. Looks like they're actually in the lead with help of the CS advantage in mid lane. Looks like they're going to take this Rooktail too without any problems, and that will for sure help him out. Cracking open one of these towers in mid or top.
And we have the Syndra getting the first turret with no contest whatsoever, as that will be a great advantage for Syndra to start building up already a Ludens and getting very much closer to the next item.
Yeah. That power spec is really good for Syndra. That's because as soon as she gets that Ludens, she really starts putting out a lot of damage that few other mid laners can accomplish with the one item power spec.
At this current time, Nico is building up for the final tower destruction at bot side here. Another auto set should do the trick, and that'll do it. Nico takes the bot tower for the side of the Yeehas.
Looks like bot lane got one by the Nico Blitzcrank.
I still can't believe that RC's ultimate didn't knock up Darius.
Yeah,
that had to either that didn't happen, he did get knocked up, or it didn't happen, he didn't get knocked up. But either way, that is a severe bug. purpose of doing that is for that exact combo. Syndra looked completely caught out. The damage was insane! And Blitzcrank combo with Galio more than enough to get the kill on Syndra to get the bounty.
That was a really good Blitzcrank roam. No one even declared missing after he went from base all the way to mid. Really good roam.
Yep, completely taking advantage of that for sure. Herald, by the way, is up and being used at the bot side at this time. Gonna go ahead and use an ultimate, stun lockdown, use his ultimate to get out of the CC, but it's too late anyway. He's still gonna be CC'd to death. Great, great reflexes by the Vi, trying to bail himself out of a tough situation. Didn't seem to work out. Archie gonna force the Darius play. Best enemy gonna be CC lockdown. He's gonna flash out of there. Warwick gonna get some fear action. Darius gonna get a Q before he goes down. A single auto attack away. Ezreal, petrified of the enemy, decides to not even fire a single auto attack against the completely exposed and no health bar Pop-Tart.
Yeah, that I don't know what's going on right there, but definitely didn't want to attack that guy for whatever reason.
Completely petrified. Hook the booty gonna go down. He gets one hook for the road. He's gonna help guarantee that one. So Q's has now an ally backing him up. Warwick is going to have to get out of this one somehow. Q comes off a cooldown. The balls does not connect. Syndra is locked down. RC sacrificing himself so that the others could escape. And it looks like they will escape. Warwick's blue buff has just came up, and they will spawn him out here as Camille's on the side. Warwick gonna think of something here. Ezreal gets caught out on the Q. He's gonna use his ultimate to make sure Ezreal goes down. Fear will connect onto the Vi. Vi's gonna engage right back onto the Warwick. Warwick will get bursted by the Syndra. Here comes Nico for the auto attack spree. The auto attacks are a good amount, but still not enough. He's gonna go for the stun. He's gonna get it, but Syndra gets the return kill, and it's a 2 for 3 at the end of that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't expect them to keep fighting if the dragon came up, but looks like next All Stars really wanted to get some return kills out of that, and looks like they accomplished their goal.
Yeah, but they gave it all to the math geek over here.
Yeah, Syndra definitely looking to put everyone in their backpack today.
Yeah, if you ever want to not feed anybody in a game, it's the math geek. Those guys are scary. They do like a bunch of equations, man. They hit you with some mad algebra. Oh boy.
Dude, I was doing mad algebra all day today. Not fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Scary stuff.
Assuming it's going to be very scary stuff for this Yeehaw team as well.
Yes. Oof.
Looks like pushing top, trying to get some pressure up there, and maybe trying to probably just trying to look for a pick. Maybe try to go to Baron afterwards, but I don't see much they can do right now. But wait.
Likewise, I agree with you.
Kind of next rosters though, I think they're kind of looking to do the same thing. Maybe they're trying to play a little bit more defensively, but they actually have the gold lead still, which I don't know how that's possible. I guess they have more kills than I anticipated.
Yeah, more farming differences as well. Meanwhile, the lockdown, the engage is finally committed. The Galio ultimate was able to get only one knockup out of that. Nico gets a Vi. Karma gets a Blitzcrank. Darius is still being focused on the auto attack. Nico's trying to get one last play. Ultimate will keep him stunned for a little bit more time. Nico's going to get the root kill on him. The CC lockdown now on the Karma. The fear keeping the Karma at bay. Nico's trying to get one more auto attack. It's going to come through. Ezreal burst through the Nico to get that kill. The follow through by the Q animation of Warwick comes all the way with Ezreal, but it's still not enough to get the distance to Karma. That animation, those fights, has led to a 3-3 split between the two of them.
That was a crazy fight right there. Both 3 members go down on each side. I think Shutdown Gold just went over too from the Syndra. Wasn't she? Didn't she have like a 600 gold shutdown?
Yes. And that is now gone. Now
Yeah.
Camille has a bounty at 450.
That closes the gold difference up a little bit, and also you gotta remember that Yeehaw's 7 too, so that adds quite a bit of, probably like 1k gold at this stage of the game, extra that you can't really see just because that's just the like damage equivalent that does.
Yes. Darius, of course, still a very huge threat in this game, and unfortunately was auto-attacked to death last time. Rage Blade already beginning to be built up by Pop-Tart. He is aiming for the Rage Blade after all for his build path.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Rage Blade seems... It should be a very interesting build for the Nico to go Rage Blade here.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of champions take that item, so it'll be like you said, it'll be interesting to see how that works out for her. Next team fight, y'all's probably are looking to take out next All-Stars bot lane since they both have a bounty on them right.
Blitz is coming up on the side. Can he get a Q? He's going to aim, but the slight Q animation step to make it so he will not get the Q animation catch. Blitzcrank is looking for a slight pull. It's an instant death, whoever gets caught. Whoever's caught will die instantly, and they have to go for the follow-up just to save their ally before it's too late. There's not even a strong enough tank for this one, as the Infernal Drake is coming up. This is a strong Infernal Drake for this team, who could use the damage very nicely here. Blitz is on the side here. They're going to go ahead and start up the Drake. No interaction going on between the enemy team, as Nico is using it to the bluff. Auto attacks will come in here, and that will work out nicely. The animation goes up right off the bat, and animations are flying all over the field with the overwhelming amount of damage by Mad Geek. He takes out one of the enemies already. He takes out Camille. The Karma takes out the Warwick. Nico is barely able to get the auto attacks off to get the kill against the Syndra. Lutus is trying to make one last play out of it, but he will not be able to pull it off as RC's on the retreat. The incredible stun by Math Geek sets up the victory for a 1-3 advantage for the next All-Stars.
Yeah. That's really bad for the E-Hogs right there, just because they're gonna lose the spot lane to it from it, and they're, even though they got the Infernal Drake, they keep losing these fights, and I don't know if they keep losing these fights like this, I don't know if they can stay in the game long enough to be able to use those Infernal Drakes.
Well, let's see what happens. I have to say, hook the booties, pull animations. You see a lot of Blitzcranks. First instinct when you see a fight about to begin, deciding to pull a champion right off the bat. The champions you don't want to pull in this game are Vi, because basically Vi is the type of champion who can instantly just get out of the CC right away and can just get right to your backline right off the bat, which is exactly where she wants to be. The other one you don't want to pull is a Darius, who's essentially the one who wants to be directly on top of you anyway, as you were mentioning with the Vi. Same thing applies here. You don't want Darius and you don't want Vi. If you're going to pull anyone, pull the Syndra, pull the Ezreal, or pull the Karma. But if you're going to end up in a pull anyway, just don't bother. So just keep your pull for the next CC you can use and just cause a little bit of backline peel. Pull the Darius away from the team. Might be nice. Well, bye.
Ton of damage coming out.
Oh, they're going to go ahead and catch the Karma on the trade-off. Somehow Karma lived for 2 more seconds, but it's not going to be enough to survive that one. Fear trying to be used to peel for more time. It's not going to work out. Flash by Warwick last second as a panic flash. And next All-Stars once again comes out with a 1-3 trade. Big mistake here, allowing one of them to get caught out so easily and instantly killed by the Syndra. By the way, Syndra, big item, now has a Void Staff.
Yeah, Void Staff and all that magic penetration coming out from the Syndra. It might be even a little bit too late for them to start building some magic resist that I see that Camille and Galio are getting right now. For some reason they're scared and bought a lot of AD maybe for the Ezreal and the Darius.
And that'll be a free Nyx All-Star Baron. As despite losing objective after objective, they've gotten a very big one here. They're dealing with the enemy's overwhelming engage potential very well, and it's mostly because of Math Geek. He's able to CC specific targets right when they're about to make a big play, or right when they're about to make a big catch. And the team happens to be in a good enough spot for them to capitalize shortly after that anyway. So it's really a big reason Math Geek has been able to dominate this game so far is purely through his efforts. His ridiculous CC just buys the team a little bit more time to get the damage off.
Yeah, he's definitely the MVP so far in this game, I would think. He kills passive stat and so on, and also dominated the early game with CS.
Everything looking great for the Math Geek.
Hmm. Calculations are on point tonight.
Darius is a tough one here. They're going to start backing off right away. They're going to engage here. Blitzcrank is coming around the side. Nico will use the clone to buy more time. He's going to get auto-attacked a lot. Nico's trying to do everything he can to get through this Darius. The stun buys only a few seconds. Nico's damage finally comes through. Warwick, by the way, in the back line is buying away the Ezreal. Ezreal does miss the ultimate as they're beginning to chase away, and it's a 2 for 3, this time in the advantage for the Yeehaws.
Yeah, I think Vi might have been going a little bit too ham that time. Went up really far ahead from her team. Did a max range ulti and took them a little bit longer to get up. And also, Sinjo used that CC on the Nico clone, which, as you said, she's been pivotal in their success.
Yes, and exactly. And it's going to be very vital to make sure you hit your right targets. And Super Pop-Tart definitely doing a good job trying to keep the focus away. Sadly, the auto-attack damage that Nico is providing in the game doesn't seem to be cutting through the tankiness of this Darius. Despite having no armor or magic resist, the health percentage proccing is still not enough, and it looks like the on-hit is just not doing what we were hoping it would be able to do this game, again, in that 1v1 matchup. See, if that was a Vayne in this situation, that's a dead Darius right there, super fast.
Pretty sure Vayne was banned away, though.
Oh, yes, never mind then. Forgot I said anything. That was a Kai'Sa, a Vayne, someone else with another health percentage damage. I don't know. Lucian?
Virus? I think he does. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, somebody. Somewhere.
Maybe a more traditional ADC? I get what you're saying.
Perhaps, though, yes. Maybe a more traditional ADC. Darius, this is the best catch you're going to aim for. Auto attacks are finally coming through. Nico's damage was looking great for a split second. But his team, they weren't thinking Darius was going to get caught there, so no CC was used.
No, they don't. They're like, get the Darius.
Another pull comes in. He's going to have a flash up this time, and Best Anime will escape.
That was really close, but...
That should have been a insta kill on that Darius and a snowball to be right there. But because the team did not expect Hook the Booty to get that pull, did this backfire? This does not go well. Sorry, I shouldn't say backfire.
Yeah, it didn't really backfire. It didn't really go out as planned, I would say. At least not for this Hook the Booty is what you thought. Definitely a little bit of miscommunication there, but nothing too bad. Also going to come back in like 10 seconds now. They can recover from it. Both jungles are pretty much all the way cleared. Just the Krugs and the Grump all the way on the other side of the map down there. I'd like to see more pressure out of next All-Stars, so since they do have the lead right now by quite a sizable margin.
Yeah, they can't afford bad positioning, though, because that's exactly what the enemy team is looking for. RC, Warwick, Camille. That's basically the name of the game here. Is bad positioning means lost team fight.
Yeah. Like you said earlier in the cast, really good team fights coming in here from 9X All-Stars. They definitely shouldn't be winning these fights like they have been, I don't think.
Yeah, Math Geek definitely needs to get something. Vi is the one who gets caught here, and it will be a little bit of CC now used onto Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank will be bursted and killed. Galio trying to make a catch. Doesn't work out. Vi gonna try to make sure he's got nowhere to go. He gets CC'd, locked, and taken out. RC caught out on that catch. Completely is not what that was supposed to end up.
Didn't you say something about don't hook the Vi earlier?
Yep.
Well,
there it is. Hook the Vi.
just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. And that is another reminding reason why Vi is not the target you ever want to pull in these situations. Darius is going to go under tower, taking the tower for a bit here. He's going to try to force a fight. He lost his Derek's Gate, and the auto attack's looking pretty good. Darius is losing a ton of health bar, and the counter engage. Ezreal barely misses the Warwick. Barely. And it looks like the tower and all the excitement has come to an end as Camille's coming around the side. The Q will keep the Camille from catching up. Warwick sniffing a very low health Darius, but no commitment is going to be made.
I don't know if they want that low health Darius. He won't be low health for long if they chase.
No, sir.
It doesn't look like anyone on the side of what's Yeehaws. My bad. And
Yeehaw!
no, looks like no one on the side of the Yeehaws opted to get any kind of grievous wounds, so that might end up backfiring against Darius. No one else really does healing, but I guess they don't really need it.
I suppose not. We'll see if see what happens next for sure. Well, Nico not really utilizing too much of the Nico clone potential. He has the ability to bluff the enemy into false engaging by pretending to be the Blitzcrank and having him running in there. He might be able to bait maybe a single ability out of it, but he's certainly not trying. Darius is an option here for the pull, although I would advise against it. It's still pretty good here in this situation. The Baron now at this one. They're going to catch a good target this time. It's Syndra getting obliterated, and the Math Geek not being here could be the end of the fight for them. Ultimate's used to keep the Darius away. Suppression is going to come through, and Darius somehow gets the ultimate off in time to get some damage onto that Blitzcrank. He's barely able to live. They're now dealing with a big old objective control, and it's too much damage by the side of the next All-Stars as they overpower the enemy team. The Baron was hitting them the whole way through, too, on top of that.
Yeah, that was a really good catch on the side of the Yeehaws with the Blitzcrank pull. Caught the perfect target, but yet still couldn't get through Ezreal damage. Ezreal just auto-attacked that entire fight. And I don't think they hit him hardly at all.
Yeah, but that was kind of a huge reason why that completely backfired. Just an absolutely unfortunate circumstance. Two people got pulled over by Darius, and the only one that was hitting Syndra was getting attacked and taken out in that fight. And the focus just completely evaporated away from the Ezreal, who, as you mentioned, was able to get a lot of auto attacks off for free.
Yeah. That Ezreal's sitting now with a sizable 1k bounty too. They got the bounty off of Syndra, but that Ezreal, maybe he decided that he wants to carry this game.
He certainly was having a bit of a cold. He was actually feeling quite nervous a short while ago, dealing with the pressure already, but now he's starting to feel comfortable, and that's the best way you can get an Ezreal player to be. If they're comfortable, that's when they're able to focus and play at their best.
Yeah, no, it looks like Yeehaws are really having trouble catching him this game. I can understand why, because really the only way that they can get to the Ezreal is if Camille tries to dive him, or, you know, if Blitzcrank pulls him.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Fine. Again, not the one you want to hit here. Blitz knows this. Trying to keep him off. The peel doesn't work out. He uses the peel this time correctly as he stops the vibe from coming in afterwards. Camille going to be locked out. Camille going to be taken out. Darius is starting to get the dunk built up. He's going to go for a dunk. It's not going to work out. Nico grabs the double kill. Using the clone to buy more time as the Syndra is moving up into position. This Karma wants to take out the Blitzcrank. He gets another slow. Blitz is going to get a pull up to buy more time, but RC can't do anything about it. Nico's going to take the back. Pressure's starting to build up as the waves are starting to come in from the top side, already aiming for this Nexus tower. The lane's already at mid side, beginning to be shoved in, as Nico's the only one able to stop the Nexus towers from falling at this time.
Yeah, this inhibitor looks like it's going to fall, and really unfortunate situation for the Yeehaws right now. They're just going to take a Baron Seal or something for them to come back from this.
It is really going to take a lot, but it's not going to take enough here. So
The only thing they have going for them right now is the 2 Infernos that they have, but like I said, they might not be able to use it like they want to.
I have to say, I'm a little disappointed in Pop-Tart's inability to utilize the clone in this one. He really had a lot of opportunities to bait the enemy into giving away false information or lying to the enemy to trick them. But
Maybe
again,
he's just not experienced enough on Nico yet. I mean,
definitely. All right, fair enough. I'm just saying I'm disappointed. I'm not saying that he's not doing a good job in the ADC category. Clearly doing very well so far. By the way,
he kills most on his team.
Indeed, definitely able to get the damage, and he's finally getting what he is aiming for damage-wise. It's really nice to see.
Is there a way to see damage on Spectator right now?
Oh, no, there isn't. But, I mean, for the kills going on in this game, clearly you had to do some damage. He's hitting the Darius, a lot.
All you need to do is hit the last hit to kill him.
What? That's not a thing.
KSing this whole time.
What? KSing? It's not real. Making that up. Anyway,
Yeah,
2 inhibitors lost at the top side here. The next All-Stars here trying to keep the enemy in front of them so that we can force the super minions to be dealing with soon enough. If they don't make a catch here, it's the game over, as next All-Stars will be able to push their way through the very big team.
yeah. They got next All-Stars really has to be careful here though, because if they die here and as grouped as 5, could be the turning point in this game that they need the EHOs to.
By the way, we're already at the 9 p.m. mark, which means your game is going to happen right after this one. So fun stuff for that little tidbit in the future. We got one more game for the night, folks. We'll see what happens after that. But it's next All-Stars trying to finish this one out. Can they do it soon? Well, they don't really have to. It's big 2 sets of big old minions coming in through that wave side. Now, next All-Stars don't got to worry about much. Darius looks like to be the one caught here. He's going to be locked down for a bit. Vi's going to go into the back line. The CC damage is going to come through well. RC was actually able to tank that well enough. And Best Anime going to engage. He's going to be pulled in by the Blitzcrank. He's going to get taken out. Blitzcrank is going to set up that play. Warwick goes down in an instant. Slow Q's trying to keep in the game here. The Zani's Hourglass bought only as much time as you could. Pop-Tart is trying to get out the Ezreal. Ezreal does go down. Nico takes 2 members down. Going to catch the Ezreal here. But Ezreal's still alive. Hook the Booty was abandoned. But here's why! The Nexus was getting overwhelmed as Ezreal's going to try to take out the tower. They completely forgot about the waves, and these minions were taking out the thing, and it's barely standing up right now, the Nexus.
That was pretty much best case scenario for next All-Stars.
RC here, going to try one last opportunity. Ezreal not going to be able to get the kill on RC after all as they back off.
That was the best case scenario probably for the EHOs, to be honest, because even though they lost the tower, they still got a little bit more momentum going into the next team fight, I think. Because next team inhibitor's up and the mid lane one's coming up here soon too. So they could be mounting a comeback here. I mean, I don't want to jinx anything, but
they definitely lost a lot for it. No warding inside the base as of right now. We won't be seeing a expect plan by the Vi or by the Darius at all. So let's see what exactly is the next win phase plan here. They've got some warding down over on the bot side of the enemy, of their own jungle. They have a few wards they have to deal with at this time, but they're starting up the Baron at this time. Pause has been activated right out the bat, so we're now definitely going to have a lot longer than a 9-minute, a lot longer than a few minutes of a gameplay here. So you might want to tell your teammates about you being late here.
oh, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They know I'm casting.
All right. So right now, next All-Stars looking for their 4th win. For their 4th win here in this matchup, while the Yeehas are looking to add their first loss to their opponents to prevent their win-loss record. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a tight game, looking close. It's mistakes that could cost the game for either side. And it's Ezreal versus Nico versus a damage output. What's going to happen?
What they need to do is try. If I was on the side of the EHOS, what I would tell my team to do is group at Baron and try to get one last good team fight, focused on the Ezreal, focus down the Syndra. Everyone else is supplementary. Get those 2 guys down and then get the Baron. Then, good as gold. Just prevented Baron and you could stall the game out just a little bit longer. And to maybe even turn it around and win it if they kill all of them and none of them get killed. Still anyone's game, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, makes sense. Some merit. There's some merit there.
What, you don't think Nico's gonna pull it through, maybe?
I mean, I'm not saying she won't pull it through. I'm just saying it's been a fun game so far, and I'm very entertained by all of this. I'm not saying she won't do it. I'm not saying she will do it. I'm just saying I am impressed at the 80 carry Nico. By the way, going GA as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's the Nico build I seen in the high elo, to be honest. I feel like that I remember seeing at least a few of those clip 8 item pictures.
Yeah, it's definitely on pause going to come in here. This could be the final interaction between these 2 teams. Will this be the way the game ends? Let's see what happens. They're already building up the damage on that Baron. 5,000 on the Baron. Oh, Darius tries to pull over the wall. Doesn't have the distance. Meanwhile, this will be a quick steal
Oh,
by
steal!
Warwick.
Steal!
He steals it, but Vi's not gonna let him go. RC unfortunately has committed too much into this, and now we'll have the die in the trade out as Vi goes down, and RC will go down as well. The big missed decision by RC. Oh no! And
That
that's
might
the
be-
end.
That might be the end because of RC.
Vi looking caught out
right?
here. Is it over? Vi's gonna be completely locked down.
Still anyone's game.
They need... Blitz goes down. That's their only front line left. Nico trying to get as much damage. He roots down the back line and hits the Darius. But unfortunately, Darius gets up to the front too quickly. He goes down in an instant. And unfortunately, the game is over. As Nico takes one last-ditch effort to try to get the auto attacks off. And it's not enough to take out Solo Q. Slow Q. Oh, the inhibitor! It's not over yet! The inhibitor! It respawned!
I think
It
it's over.
respawned! There's no time! Oh! That would have been funny. Then Warwick comes in and just one-shots the four of them.
Suddenly sells all his items, gets full AP.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Just turns it all the way around. What an incredible fight between the Next All-Stars and the Yeehaws. What an incredible gameplay we got to witness here today. Unfortunately, we have no time to do an interview, no time to do anything. We have to get right into the next game right off the bat. So you can go ahead and jump right into that one, Attain.
All right. Goodbye.
I'll see you later, man. Hopefully your game goes well. I might bring you back in for the interview. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, indeed. See ya. Well, anyway, folks, we'll be right back. Enjoy some music. We will return with some invites, some gameplays, some more to finish up the night of this week. So far, the games have been incredible. Let's see if it stays that way. Coming back to you live soon. Whoops. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final game of the night. It's between the Naughty Nips and the and Aether Esports. Joining me in the cast happens to be none other than the owner himself, X-Man.
The one, the only, X-Don, X-Man, whatever you want to call me. Doesn't matter. We have a hype matchup for our 9 p.m. last game of the night. Naughty Nips on the blue side, Aether Esports on the red side. Bands flying out faster than a gunslinging old western. Shaco not wanting to be out here. I know Canadian champ, very proficient on the champion. So I think that is a pretty good ban for Naughty Nips.
Tis is definitely a good idea to try to get away from any opportunity to give them any champion that they could use. Comfort picks are always the commonplace practice with competitives, and definitely a good idea to get rid of all of them.
Actually, you know what? Screw picks and bans for just a minute. We have a long time to talk about them. Army, how's your day been? ESG picked up their first win today.
Oh, you just heard about that? Yes, I was ecstatic.
Is that actually what? Like, was it a close game? What happened? Was
They
this on stream?
dominated. They absolutely crushed their opponents. They won very convincingly for the first time. I've never seen them win the game so convincingly before.
Season of ESG is among us. I was at work, wasn't able to watch the action, but you are damn sure I will be watching the VOD on that one.
Yes, definitely heavily recommend it. It was a very fun one.
Breaking news here, though. Lysandra was left open for Zooey, aka Phoenix, aka Sorry Gotta Go, the man of many names but not of many champs. And I know Lysandra is one of his signature picks, and it was picked up immediately on the side of Naughty Nips. I think this is actually huge and a drastic mistake on the pick and ban phase from Aether.
Well, I certainly said the same thing when it came down to Atwell taking the Yasuo, which was really great for him, turning the game entirely around with his one champion. But now we're seeing the situation here for Zooey to do the same exact situation. Perhaps he will not fall and make the grave mistakes that Atwell ended up befalling from ESG. Let's hope for the fans of Naughty Nips that this definitely doesn't happen to them, but now that he's got a strong comfort pick, the fans can feel a little bit of ease as he'll be able to take a strong and comfortable option. Meanwhile, Darius and Hecarim already starting to build around here as Aether is feeling the confidence starting to build up.
Yeah, looking kind of solo queuey here on Aether's side. Just going with the really strong pick in the Darius, really fast tempo pick in the Hecarim. Both champions needing to snowball early if they want to have any presence in that mid to late game. Hecarim, we'll see if he goes with the Predator Moby Boots route that we see popping up a lot in solo queue. We'll see if Darius decides to go Conqueror. Probably will, just because it's pretty good. But we see Yonkdom here going in with the Gnar. We've seen pretty good performances with him on it. And I think into the Darius, it's basically try to stay out of range. Don't ever go Mega Gnar. And if he pulls you, you're probably going to die. So
Probably. Well, Ari as well to add some extra CC factor in there. Great damage dealer as well. Going to be a really nice ganking potential synergy in the mid side here. Let's see how Zooey will be able to handle the Hecarim Ari combo.
how do you feel about the Ari going into Lysandra? What do you feel about that matchup?
It's a bit of a tough matchup in most cases when it comes down to actually in between the players who play them versus the meta and how they're supposed to go. See, in Lysandra's case, it's like I have so many opportunities to prevent myself from getting hurt while also setting myself up for a catch. Where Ari is an opportunist to set up that great catch and play. So it's kind of more a skill situation between the effectiveness of Lysandra versus the impulse of Ari in that type of matchup. So I would suspect that since Zooey, who's gotten so much experience with Lysandra, will have a pretty good time in this situation based off of that knowledge.
I will give you a prediction right now. I will say whoever is able to get the first roam off onto the bot lane and is able to really make an impact down there, making Mixed Veggies, who we know is a really hard carry on this roster, whoever is really able to impact that lane will probably come out ahead for the majority of the game. Whether Aquatic Dark is able to get down there first, whether Zooey is able to get down there with Lysandra, both have such playmaking potential to roam down there with their junglers or by themselves if they choose to. Whoever has the mid lane priority will for sure be the ones that we have to watch for this game so far. We see a whole bunch of 80 carry bans coming out: the Ezreal, the Sivir, the Jinx. Sona being banned away from Attain here. Maybe a little bit of a pocket pick there.
Yeah, he kind of ends up with these rough situations for his picks phase. He actually just commented in the general chat saying, "Can I just play Taric, please? I just want to play a champion that I like playing." It's like, nope, not allowed.
Not a real doctor, aka a taint. These are all old names. These are all these old members coming back. It feels good to be able to cast them one more time in a game. Ashe Zyra being locked in for Naughty Nips. Really strong 2v2 when it comes to the poking, but what we have to look out for, not a lot of like survivability when it comes to a Hecarim gank or an Ahri coming down there.
Yep, and it seems that Braum will be the one he'll go into this time around. I was just in a conversation with him a short while ago about how he loves playing the more into the utility side of supporting. He doesn't really like being the frontline tanking choice, but he's very used to it. It's competitive.
Well, I was going to say, if you're not wanting to be in the frontline tanking position, Braum is the exact opposite of the champion that you want to be playing right now.
Yes.
I do think it is a very good pick to round out their composition. It'll be able to slow up the Gnar in a team fight with the wall of ice that he does go ahead and pop up. Nunu will have a very hard time trying to go across that. A lot of champions with not that many gap closing abilities, with the exception of Lissandra and maybe Mega Gnar Hop. There's definitely a lot of peel, a lot of engage options, a lot of split push. I do really like the composition coming out from Aether so far.
Yeah, it actually does seem to be pretty interesting for a nice Wombo set. It's all on how execution really comes around. Speaking of execution, Darius has got to make sure his execution is done properly. Last Darius in the previous game was unable to really get the 5-stack combo to go off properly during the team fights, and it certainly extended the game, but at the end of the day, it was still his team coming out on top of the victory. To this point, I hope that the Darius will be able to pull it off this time around versus this type of team. Will be a little bit harder to do that, especially considering the fact that the only one that would be the easiest of the targets is a Nunu, who is basically a root machine. So that's just going to punish him the moment he even approaches this guy. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I will say this. Both teams have two objectives going for them. They both want to go for kind of a 1-4. Have their junglers kind of just off in the side lane. Have their three members grouped up to support 80 carry in the mid lane. And they will basically, if Darius gets the advantage over Gnar, obviously it's going to be very Aether-sided, and they'll be able to rotate around the objectives more. And Darius has to really make sure he doesn't get cut out here. Something to note, he opted to not go with the teleport. So if he is in that side lane and he is not really getting the advantage that Ghost should allow him to achieve, then he's really going to be a hindrance to his team. And if Gnar is able to get the Mega, he's able to get the perfect teleport off, and they're able to 5v4 across the map, then we're really going to see that play out in favor of Naughty Nips deciding to go with the Global Summoner spell.
It's definitely something we're going to hope we'll be able to do exactly that. We'll certainly find out the old-fashioned way of seeing how the game develops.
Yeah, absolutely. Across the board, both comps very similar. I mean, you want your split-pushing top laner, and then you want the rest of the team just so much catch potential. I do think the Tristana Braum is pretty safe from the Nunu. You don't really have a lot of options to really jump onto those guys. Tristana also has the rocket jump. Braum has the stand behind me. They both can get out fairly easily. However, if they are able to layer the Ashe Arrow, the Zyra root, the Nunu snowball, and Lissandra's able to roam down there as well, you can't really jump away from 8+ seconds of continued crowd control. So will they be able to get the perfect gank off onto the bot side, get Mixed Veggies out of lane, get him to be the team fight monster that we know him as? I don't know if he'll be able to pull it off on the Ashe, though.
Definitely going to have to try his best for that, because this Arda is definitely not going to give him an inch to be able to play this Ashe correctly. Able to disposition it through the ultimate alone, but also able to just use the jump distance to get as far away from Ashe as possible. Of course, the big difference is the stun versus the knockback, and obviously the stun just a little bit stronger at more range.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of a front line with the Nunu. I mean, with Lissandra zoning, with the Glacial Prism and stuff like that. I do think Tristana will have a little bit of an easier time in the team fight, simply just because of the protection that Braum offers. Because when you just think of overall protective support, that's who you immediately jump to. And if he's able to get the, if he's ever able to get his passive off onto one of those bot laners, it is so easy, and I cannot emphasize this enough, for Tristana to just press W, jump in, throw the bomb on top of them, and as soon as you see the concussive blows stack off, they will pop immediately.
And we'll see what everything looks like with the point-wise going into this. Everyone very healthy amount of points. In fact, the lowest one in this one seems to be a level 5 for Ari, but everyone is hovering 7s and 6s. In fact, it looks like on the side of 90 Nips, everyone's bringing out their level 7 champions here.
Honestly, just 9 times Aquatic Dark report after the game, not even a level 6 mastery. Truly, what are you doing here? No skin either.
You
ultimate disrespect.
You know what's even worse than that? The Nunu actually has less points and has 7 to Ari, who has only 31 to the 32. Ari being 32.
Let's be honest. When do you not get an S on Nunu? The champion is pretty much a menace in all levels of the game. Pretty strong in competitive. I will say that, though. I mean, obviously, we're looking at the mastery right in front of us. Naughty Nips' comp just looks like they really went for comfortability. Like, everybody likes these champions. It seems like they could perform well on these champions in any given situation. Can they make them work together as a team and really utilize the pick potential and use their champions to the maximum ability possible? That's the question I think that'll really dictate which team comes out ahead early.
Anyways, as well, sorry, I kind of lost my thought process there for a second. Darius, by the way, going with the Hail of Blades versus the Gnar, I think is a very bizarre option to go for here, considering he knows that he's going up against a few tanks in this matchup.
I mean, hey, you're a Scion player. I mean, you're a Scion player. You see Darius coming at you with Hail of Blades. He's going to hit you 4 times before you can even react. It's a little scary, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yes, if it was a Scion situation, but for a Gnar, you could just jump away from that and barely get away with 2 hits on it. And sadly, it's a fast Hail of Blades, but it's not quick enough to really warrant that in this Rune situation. I'd say that was a bit of a bad decision. But perhaps he might be able to make it work against the immobile Nunu, or perhaps other things to get it off quickly. We'll see if that works out for him or not.
I think just giving him a little more burst in the trades. But like you said, if he's able to pull it off, will Gnar just be able to kite him away? If I know Yonkdom, and I don't know Diabolical Helena, but if I know the way that this matchup is probably going to go, we're probably going to see a lot of action early. And this isn't going to be one of those wet noodle tank v tank fights. Looks like both teams are pinging out onto the map. We might see some 5v5 action.
Looks like a vision line from what I can see. I think they were just basically telling each other where they're supposed to stand on the map.
Boo! Boo!
You know, if you were there for the last 2 ones, you would have actually been very entertained. The ESG matchup was very more interesting with their invade, though. But the matchup previous game was also an invade, but it amounted to nothing, very interestingly enough. So, really, really bizarre gameplay so far. Every single game seems to be very different from one another. Especially the Nico from the previous game was the most surprising of the day so far. I mean,
I was arguing with everybody over the Nico. I didn't think it was too great of a pick. I think once you're at 30 minutes into the game, I'd almost take any other 80 carry over Nico. But that's just my preference. Call me old-fashioned. I'm not into these new age picks. I know you over here loving the Nico support. Please stop. Please.
Listen, man, listen. You're going to owe me one later in the day. And you know what that means? You're going to try out some of that Nico support. I assure you. But enough of that.
When I'm game 5 into promos and I see you pull out Aftershock Nico and I don't talk to you for a few months, I don't want you to be surprised is all I'm trying to say.
Alright. Okay, I see what you're saying with that. Well, to the gameplay in action, it looks like the Hecarim and Nunu finished their buffs in the buff race roughly around the same time. Makes a little bit of sense with the clearing. Let's see how everything else will fall together in the early stages. So definitely what would be great is if Nunu can make Gnar get ahead of the Darius. especially considering
Either of these junglers, if either of them are able to sway that top side matchup, it'll be so huge for the team. If Gnar is able to use his teleport freely on the other side of the map because he's winning in his matchup, it'll be absolutely insane. Or if he's able to establish a freeze or any of the other countless ways top laners bully each other without actually killing each other. I don't know how you do it. But
Yes, but definitely something has to be shaken, not stirred in this top lane.
a little bit of a mixer. We do see Hecarim already into the top side of the jungle. Nunu taking his time, going for a little bit of a slower clear. Did get the crab in the bot side, so he does have that going for him. Hecarim going to be getting the top scuttle most likely. Unless Nunu decides to contest it, we might see our first bit of action.
Well, considering that Zui got his Lysandra, this is essentially where he's at his most comfortablest, or most comfortable, I should say, more towards English words. Zui is basically at exactly the right mentality you want to have for your mid laner. So if anything, we could see a lot of rotational play around the mid riverside at any point. Like anybody who just slightly oversteps will end up being a catchable play for Zui, as I've experienced both against him in a scrim and with him on his team before at scrim points. Yes, have played with his team before, so I'm trying to mention.
Yeah, I think you could say the same for either of these mid laners, really. If Ahri and Hecarim are able to catch somebody out in the river who's just a little unaware, or they do have a pretty good vision line down, like they do in the top side, it'll be huge.
Yep, no opportunity whatsoever for Nunu to do anything spicy. Big
Small
trade.
fight going here top side.
Yeah, big auto attack trade. Does get all 5 procs, and that will force Hyena to go for Ghost here, as he was assuming someone was probably coming around, or maybe he thought that the Gnar was going to commit. Either way, he does use it, and now it's gone, so this will be a good chance for Nunu to come up.
Yeah, would say it's a great chance for Nunu, but you look at the vision line in the river. He's pretty much spotted out wherever he goes currently, but he might not even need it.
Yep, that last auto attack is just not enough health percentage proc. Unfortunately, the boomerang cooldown's just a little too long, but that boomerang definitely would have been enough to take down Diabolical there.
That would have been almost a reason to make another Crocodile Dundee movie if that boomerang was off cooldown. But unfortunately, no kill top lane. Diabolical also holding his flash. Very poised.
Here
there,
comes
but
Canadian champ out of nowhere, the RKO, but the reflexes were so good by Sushi and Ash, they will immediately get out of that as soon as the play was made.
Immediate flash blown off of the Zyra, making her such a vulnerable target. If a taint lands one more Winter's Bite onto that Zyra, you bet your bottom dollar Arda is going to rocket jump forward faster than you could even blink, and that will be a kill. Or they might just be able to farm it out and they don't abuse the flash cooldown. Will he be able to? Is a pretty good question. I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing that could have probably went slightly better for that gank is if Attain jumped onto the Hecarim as soon as he set up that catch, might have been able to add a little more punishment factor onto Sushi. Unfortunately, he just didn't see it, didn't have the angle, and just couldn't get there in time to set up that play.
We do see him already with the Mobies and the Predator Boots. Should have spotted that a little bit earlier, but he's going for the early pressure. He wants to make the early plays for his team so they're able to do what they want into these lanes.
So apparently we're references the stream, by the way. We're talking about... it's basically we just bring up like old references of other things and other shows.
Oh, we can bring up references for days.
Yeah.
Mountain Dragon, Lord of the Rings, mountains, I don't know.
Or maybe we're out of material after all.
No. See, Nunu he has Frodo on top of him, and the Willump is all right, I'm lost. we're gonna stop the narrative there. With the first dragon being the Mountain Dragon, the early pressure into the mid and bot lanes will be pretty big. Razzle
Frazzle gonna lock him up, and he looks like he's gonna be sending him to Isengard. No, he flashes away. Looks like the Hobbit is not going to Isengard after all.
2 summoners coming out there, the heal and the flash. No flash on the Braum will stop him from being able to make aggressive plays, excuse me, onto Sushi. So that's a pretty good gank there from Razzle, kind of giving some pressure back to that bot lane.
Yes, especially considering this bot lane is almost dead even between the two of them. They definitely need to get something to just cause a rift so one can get the edge. It's definitely better that a Tristana and an Ashe do not get to the late game at the same time. Most definitely in the better benefit if Ashe is ahead or Tristana is ahead. If you happen to be on either side of the team, you definitely want Tristana to be the one ahead if you're on the side of Aether, clearly. But you know, some kind of imbalance needs to happen.
Razzle trying to go for a little bit of vision deep. It looks like they're trying to prioritize the dragon, but I don't think anything's going to come out of this
Get
fight.
on my
Or am I
horse.
lying?
Here he comes! Ultimate goes completely wide! Sushi is barely alive, and Ari will just get the amount of damage to come through. Zoe is trying to get the kill onto the Braum. Is going to get the last auto attack. Aquatic goes down to the mixed veggie auto attack, and that will end that 2v2 between the two of them. Sorry, a 4v4, ending with 2 kills each side.
Nunu saw a ball and wanted to play with it, flashing into the orb of deception.
Gamble. Oh boy,
No!
Veggie's gonna barely make it!
No!
He needs one more
What?
auto! It's not enough! Arda is trying to race after the AD carry that's too
No
far
way.
away! The W's gonna come
No
up!
way.
The crit!
Oh my God!
He's got
What?
it! I can't believe it! He thought the bomb damage was gonna be enough!
What?
He thought it
I've
was
never-
gonna be enough!
Oh my God! I have not seen a luckier player than Mixed Veg. I don't know what he's eating, but apparently it's some really good stuff because he is so strong right now. 3-0 off of all that skirmishing. Holy, what? What?
It is a unbelievable miscalculation by Arda, who thought the bomb damage was definitely going to do more than enough on Mixed Veggies. Somehow Mixed Veggies is saying, you know what, I'm going to be a top 5 right here, and stays just within vision range to get the W off to kill Tristana later on, and now is way out in front, which is exactly what Naughty Nips wanted.
He did miss the Ashe arrow, so apparently there's not any carrots in his veggies because he can't see. But he just was somehow able to kite out that fight just enough to live on a sliver of HP. The Triumph heals kept coming through for him at the right times. I want to say he even had a little bit of lifesteal. He had his Cutlass completed, and he was able to play that out pretty perfectly. Then the Lysandre passive pretty much doing the rest there.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Engage time once again, and it looks like he's going to push him right into the ultimate of Zyra. Meanwhile, Sushi trying to stay alive a little bit longer. Ultimate used by Attain. It's not enough damage, and it's an auto away for Tristana, but didn't like the second opportunity to get that kill, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of miscommunication there. Taint wanting to go all the way in for the kill. Artist saying, no, it's okay. I'll just get the minions. It's fine. It's okay. But this is what I was talking about. Just,
Charm misses. Alt arrow's going to connect, and that's a long... Oh, never mind. There's the cleanse. Here comes Nunu on the ball. That was a very fun Aquatic Dark setup. He thought that there was more CC coming in, so he just...
What an across-the-map play. Heard me BM him about the arrow previously, so he was like, you know what, I'll hit this next one from base. That was just... Oh, is Nina getting cut out here?
Charm's going to hit this time, and yes, that's the catch and a half, and nowhere to go. Aquatic Dark grabs another kill and starts to pull out in front here as the catch worked out well.
Yeah, playing with no vision there in the river, and he ends up getting caught out. Not the right place to be, especially when your mid laner is heading topside. Just maybe you want him to fall back a little bit. But you can tell what Naughty Nips are trying to go for. They keep trying to get vision down onto the dragon, onto the lower bot side river. They really want to start snowballing the Drakes because they have the objective focus jungler with the Nunu. Really easy secures with the Smite Consume combo. So I understand what they're trying to go for. They just need to be a little bit more patient with it.
Yes. They definitely do need to have some more patience indeed. But then again, you can just not have patience and throw yourself at them like exactly what the Yeehas have been doing. And though it hasn't been super successful, it has basically kept the game even.
We do need to change the stream overlay slightly to Aether on the right side.
Oh wow, thank you for letting me know. Wow, the Yeehas were still playing apparently after that game.
But while we were talking, as we said, Naughty Nips wanting the dragon, they go ahead and pick it up. But at what cost?
Yes, indeed. What cost it? As Razzle's got nowhere to go, is trying to buy more time, and it'll be Aquatic Dark grabbing another kill, getting even bigger in this game as he's now sitting up at an 800 bounty.
This is one of the most tilting things as a mid lane when you
Champ's
don't die.
looking for an Ashe, and it looks to be enough.
Get one.
He's gonna get a lot of damage there. The ult combo is well timed, but Ashe is gonna get a kill on the back here as he gets a little bit of revenge for that dive.
Alright, so to sum up what just happened, over-aggressive map movements from Naughty Nips without prior setup to the objective. They really, really, really wanted the mountain, and they were all prepared to die for it, and that's pretty much what happened.
So Aquatic Dark will nimbly avoid the Zyra play, and Naughty Nips miss a good catch on the Ahri.
Alright, kids at home, if you are a level 6 Zyra walking up to a 5-1 level 10 Ahri, do not go behind her so she can murder you before your laner has time to react. I don't know if Aquatic Dark understood what was going on there, but he could have pretty much one-shot that Zyra if he wanted to.
Definitely, considering no protection whatsoever. Not even a Zanya's not even a stopwatch were prepared here. Sushi, by the way, is going to be... Oh boy, I don't know about this one, Hecarim. He gets bluffed and caught by the Zyra bait, and that's a Lissandra free kill for... Well, Zooey.
Look at my horse. My horse is now gray screened. Seems to be the story here for Canadian Champ on that play. Just no survivability yet with the Warrior Enchantment, with the Moby Boots. Any CC you do land onto him will be full duration. Fight's in the top side, though.
Hyena could win this one if it goes well. He's not even bothering kiting. But meanwhile, in the enemy jungle side, we're seeing a little bit of more conflict as Razzle's looking caught for a split second. But it's a flash out to make sure he doesn't get there. Hyena using every single resource he had to guarantee that the Snar does not win that fight. Is going to get out of there in the meantime.
Well, see, that is Gnar winning the fight. We see him now free pressure down onto the tower. Darius having to use both of his summoners, and that's with no jungle pressure top. This is Yonkdom just simply giving it to the Darius. As we say that, Canadian Champ, this is not a fight you win. You are going to need to back up.
Yeah, he's been taking too many risks, and I think he's finally going to pay for it. And Gnar gets a free kill onto Canadian Champ. And my goodness, Canadian Champ, what are you thinking?
Can I sing the song again?
Well, that was definitely Amazing Horse. But what about this amazing Ahri, who's looking to kill the enemy jungler on the trade? Ahri's got nowhere to go here. The damage was too good. And it looks like Ahri's not even going to kill anyone at all. Ends up getting taken away. And it's
Nunu just too strong.
He utilized his Aftershock very nicely there to give himself just enough time to survive that, and then the ultimate to keep Aquatic Dark from any escaping option. And then he let his teammates really just come up and take the free kill.
This is just kind of scrappy from Naughty Nips. They're the ones trying to really make the rotations here. And when they get caught out, they're calling for the team, and they're somehow making it work on the back end on most of these fights.
It's a rare thing to see Aquatic Dark in this scenario not kill a 0-3 Nunu. Very rare, but that's essentially why Aquatic Dark probably even took the gamble in the first place. Thought it was a free kill, grab it, and just move on. But it definitely didn't seem to work out. By the way, he's going to change his build direction this time, going for the Leandry's Torment build path, as he seems to want to make sure that he gets the kill next time he catches the Nunu.
Don't know if I agree with that. I think you're most likely better off just going for the one-shot build onto the Ashe, onto the Zyra. You're definitely able to chunk out the Lissandra, who's not going to go defensive anytime soon. You're getting pretty much chunk out Gnar, who so far has no magic resistance. I definitely don't agree with it. We'll see if he's able to make it work. Maybe just a little bit too much gold to really think about what he should be spending it on.
Perhaps.
But either way, going into it, we have another dragon spawning in 25 seconds, and Yonkdom is still just beating the living hell out of this top lane tower.
Yes, and it will fall soon. This Gnar has been able to take complete authority of this lane so far in this one. And it looks like Hyena actually used this. Oh, it looks so good. He actually managed to get the upper hand. But the ultimate to prevent that from happening. Lissandra trying to escape here. Not going to happen. Canadian Champ uses his ultimate to buy more time. He goes down in an instant as well. Gnar TP'd. So now it's a 2v5 situation. and it's Braum that goes down on the catch. It's a charm that looked too good to be true, but that's probably why it wasn't. And that's a free Infernal Drake for Nutty Nips.
Yeah, this is just what we talked about before. If Gnar could get the advantage in the top side, your Darius is just going to be sitting up there, and Gnar is going to be able to make the teleport play. They go ahead, pick up the kills, pick up another dragon, and it's an Infernal. Who doesn't love those? It's going to be a lot more damage coming out for that team, and they're saying, you know what, we're not done. You guys are dead. We're going to drop the Rift Herald, take out the mid-tier 1, so they're not only trading the tower for the top lane. I think this is a little bit of an overextension.
Let's see if it will be punished, as they're going to start the retreat right now. Canadian Champ is going to take out the Herald before any more autos can get on it, and that will be a half-health mid-tower, while in the meantime Darius using the potential to go ahead and take out the tower at his top side. So they're getting at least 1-for-1 here.
So, I mean, hey, it's a little scrappy, but I see some macro going on there. Oh, Justana.
Yeah, he is completely locked down here. Nunu's going to come around to try to get the catch onto Arda. Arda has to get away from this, but it looks like it's not the only one that has to. The entire bot lane and Ahri is going to be completely thrown out of the equation here, and it will be a tower loss as an incredible catch by Razzle Frazzle.
The full duration absolute zero just does so much damage.
I don't even know how he was able to get it off all the way, but just they're layering their CC. The people are just getting caught. Not everyone's all together. The fights are scrappy, and this works so well in Naughty Nip's favor, just with the champions they picked.
Indeed. He's beginning the rotating games over as Naughty Nips are going to grab themselves another tower with the swing they've just built up through those 2 catches.
Yeah, it just seems to be they go ahead, they get some catches, immediately an objective follows right after. This is something I don't think we've seen yet. Normally, they just go ahead, pick up a couple kills, back off, reset, and then the other team somehow picks up the objective and a couple kills later. But this is looking so far pretty good for Naughty Nips.
They're definitely paying attention to what they can and can't do in this one, and they've decided that they cannot use the rotation to get that bot tower instead. So I think they may have made a good decision here, but it will be punished because they did decide to back. That bot tower is definitely going to be destroyed in an instant.
But this is going to be just another tower trade. I think Aether realized here there's nothing they can do to stop the Gnar, so they're going to go ahead, trade the gold on the other side. Hecarimalt just
used to just bail himself out of that one. Yes, exactly. Darius going to try to force it here. He gets the Q animation to come off. It's a well-timed Zanya's Hourglass to prevent that play. Zui is going to be stun locked. Darius is going to get the Q animation to come up for him to get the kill. Razzle Frazzle trying to stop them from the back line. Darius is unable to get the dunk off, so he doesn't have a dunk reset. Unfortunately for Diabolical, he was completely unaware of how fast the Lysandra was going to die, so he didn't have enough time to get the dunk off. If he had it, that's a dead Ashe and a dead Zyra before they had the chance to kill him.
You know, a little bit.
Oh, wait a second. He didn't notice
Oh
there was
my
a ward
God.
there. He didn't see it.
Mixed Veggies is the luckiest man alive.
if he bought a lottery ticket right now, we're all going home with a lot more money than we did. But it's just, he is getting everything on this game gifted to him. Is that a Santa Braum skin being? It is a Santa Braum skin being used because this game is being gifted to him, literally. Just every kill, he's in the perfect position every single time. He was free autoing in the last fight. Zyra just stood in the bush, stopped Darius from going on to her. Like, and that whole time, Gnar got another tower.
Indeed. So every rotation plan for Naughty Nips is actually going a lot more smoother than before. There was a lot of scrap fighting, as you were mentioning, over and over for Naughty Nips, and it looks like Naughty Nips will be able to secure a possible another win here, as they already started to build up some great momentum. If this continues, then we're looking at a win here, is what I'm trying to say. Not that they will win right off the bat if they run into the enemy, but definitely another great catch will definitely lead to more successes for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a decision to make here now, though. We have a dragon spawning up in less than a minute, and they're extending Gnar on the bot side without teleport. They don't want to do this Baron right away. What I think they want to do is just kind of go ahead, farm this out, wait for the teleport cooldown to come back up. Currently, nobody's against this Gnar, so it's going to be another free tower for Naughty Nips. Aether just now realizing, hey, we're losing our objectives, and they're starting to make the rotation down. It looks like they want to go ahead and fight for this dragon because they know it's going to be too little too late.
Canadian Champ looking to try to make a catch. He's got one onto the Zyra, and Zyra will be taken out now as the enemy team has finally returned fire. Tristana is going to be locked down to some CC. Braum trying to stay alive. It's the ghost of Sushi that takes out one. Ash, by the way, following up with a ton of damage, gets a triple kill, and forces the ace on the rest of the team there. I got stuttered up real quick. It was so quick, and not
That was just so much. So much going on at once there. I mean, they go ahead, they get a quick kill onto the Zyra, but that's all you got was the Zyra, and you didn't even kill her immediately. She was able to get her full combo out, and that was all of her damage. She got the ultimate, she was able to get some plants down, landed the Q, so really, Zyra did her job there. Was able to put out all the damage that you go ahead and you pick Zyra for, and she died for the team. Meanwhile, everybody else, pretty much full HP. Nunu, sure, he took the L, but he got a full ult off again in the team fight, comboed it up well with the Lissandra ultimate, with the Lissandra CC. The passive was going crazy, and again, Mixed Veggies untouched in these team fights.
Yes, and Sushi, by the way, did make the most out of being caught, decided to use a plant in a ranged situation just away from where he was going to die, so the plant was still able to be used in combat and ended up getting a kill despite dying in that situation. One of the best things about Zyra is when you're caught out, if you use your abilities well, you can still be a participant in the fights, which we just witnessed there.
Tactical inting. Come at me, I will die, but my team will damn sure make you pay for it, so... Yeah, pretty good job there. And of course, Naughty Nips rolling again with the theme of the lottery here, picking up another Infernal Dragon. If they needed more of an advantage here, which they didn't, they now got one.
Yes. With the Baron opportunity swinging around, this is a good time for both teams to really start thinking that the Baron will be coming up for one of the teams to try to take it. So they're positioning the wards up right now for that exact reason.
Yeah, just going along with the themes of storylines and just patterns across multiple games. There has been a lot of Baron steals. A lot of teams aren't really prepared for a lot of these fights around Baron, and there has been some throws. So what Naughty Nips need to do here is just make sure they go ahead, secure the vision, which they're doing now, and try and look for a fight here before they start this objective. They actually don't even have to do the objective because Nar's on the bot side split pushing with teleport.
Hecarim trying to get away, uses the ultimate, doesn't get the distance. I think he misread how much speed he was able to get there, because that was a huge catch on Canadian Champ, who's been doing, well, he's been committing too much everything to try to force these plays to work, and now the enemies are just capitalizing on every positional maneuver he's doing.
Yeah, Aether, they just don't know where to go. They're sending the 80 carry bot side. They don't have a jungler to stop the Baron. This is going to be a free objective for Naughty Nips.
Yep, Baron. And it's almost a catch on Lissandra. Going to jump right back over the wall. And that will be a free Baron that they unfortunately were unable to stop.
A little sloppy. You probably don't need to stand next to the wall as Lissandra there. And Razzle probably should have used Smite on the Baron. But it's okay. You know what? They still get it. Now are taking the blue buff because why not? We talked about the boomerang cooldown wanting to be up sooner, and now we can with the 10% CDR off of the blue buff. I want that Crocodile Dundee movie. We're gonna get it.
Crikey!
Okay.
I said literally one word, and you're gonna stop me already?
Are we good?
Well, come on, can't I just... Oh, no, fine, never mind.
Alright, we'll take a look at the items across the board. That Leandri's that we talked about when Ari was 5-1 is now finished later into the game.
Yes, it was, and that took a long time to finish up. By the way, it's another engaged chance for Canadian Champ. He's gonna try to make one more out of it. Mixed Veggies staying alive, but the dunk came through, and Sushi's gonna take a dunk as well. He's running back for the other ones, but it looks like the enemy is going to keep away from the Darius as Darius is trying to overpower the Lissandra. Doesn't get the dunk off and goes down to Zooey. Attain trying to hold off, doesn't seem to be able to do so either. Tristana holding off the mid wave. And this 4v5 situations, Naughty Nips are going to just continuously take advantage of.
That was one of the best situations they could have hoped for, taking out a lot of the damage early, taking out the 10 and 2 Ashe. That was really good. They took out the Zyra, but they engaged the fight with only 4 members. Tristana's off on wave clear duty. Like, why are they going ahead with these split decisions, which has kind of been the theme of the game, and this actually might be it. They can end it right here.
Hecarim going to try to stop the opportunity. Zui's using the back dash in case he needs to get out of that, and it does convince Hecarim not to engage. And now we're looking at the Nexus. It looks like Nara wants to end it right here. He's going for auto attacks. Lissandra's not helping out. And finally the ult's used, and it looks like Zui's indecision making has allowed the enemy to come up and grab a couple of kills as they are able to now finally escape from the base. Ooh, Zui, he needed to make a decision there, and it looked like he was really uncomfortable with hitting the Nexus, which if he did hit it, would be the end of the game.
No, you're not wrong. I think maybe with a full, we could pull split hairs here. Maybe with a full Nexus push they end the game, maybe not. Maybe they just get CC'd up. Either way, the game is still going, but the base is absolutely in shambles. I think this is just one more reset for Naughty Nips, and the game is going to be over.
Well, definitely a opportunity missed for a shorter game, but for now, they are going to grab themselves an Infernal Drake, which will give them 3 Infernal Infernals.
Yeah, just because
I've seen Naughty Nips lose games with 3 Infernal Drakes, so I've seen it. I've been a part of it.
but you have mixed veggies, and he clearly just gets 3 Infernal Drakes and all the kills because he's mixed veggies, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. This is more just to tease Naughty Nips.
I almost want to go back to that Hecarim hitting that super minion over and over and over. That's kind of the state of this game, them just beating their heads against the cannon minions here. Just kind of figuring out what to do.
Indeed. So, Nara at the bot side here, no rotational plan, and, Naughty Nip seems to... We have a plan, we're executing the plan, we're dealing with their engages. Aether, we're throwing ourselves at them, we're hoping that it works out, it didn't work out, oh well.
Yeah, but I think if they were able to really commit to some of their earlier advantages, like around River where they had the control, maybe help out Darius, who has ended up losing the 1v1. Again, that top lane matchup has not been influenced at all. Yeah, if they were able to just use the Ahri a little bit more, who was 5-1 at one point, this game would be entirely different, but this is how it is turned out now. Mixed Veggies was able to pull out some insane... I guess you could call it plays in the team fights, and we're looking to have another one open up.
Aquatic! Oh my goodness, if there was a highlight reel for your missed charms, it would be unbelievable. He's going to finally get some help this time. Hecarim goes into the back line, forces to the front. Lissandra is able to take out the Ahri, is able to take out the Hecarim. He's going to be able to take out more than that. Gets the triple kill. Zyra will steal the Penta from Lissandra, sadly. And that will be the last one as the ace is confirmed. Oh, Sushi, your plants, they're OP. Stop that from happening. Canadian Champs is going to take this as a sign of, all right, guys, well, that's the end of that. Oh, that's unnecessary there, but...
all I saw in that fight, Mixed Veggies, basically should be dying, had 1 HP after the Hecarim engage, but because he's Mixed Veggies, doesn't use heal, ends the fight at full HP, and picks up a kill just for the KDA, 11-3-11. And although that game was extremely scrappy, I do see a little bit of macro play starting to come out from the teams, and it looked overall like they had a game plan, Naughty Nips, and they just kept going for it. They didn't really stray away from it.
And they very much adjusted to their opponent's aggressiveness as well, and able to compensate for what their plays were trying to be made. So many opportunities, so many close encounters for Aquatic Dark. Things were starting to really form well together in the early stages, but there are just so many close skill shots that if they were framed maybe just slightly over to the left or right, would we see an Aquatic Dark being a lot stronger, a lot more fed, and just able to capitalize a lot more on the damage charts this game. It's just very unfortunate that we saw what we saw for his situation. Hopefully his fans can give him some love and support. Really good for his sake.
Thoughts and prayers to the Ahri this game.
Yeah, just so close. It's very tilting. I know for a fact of missing skill shots by literal centimeters. Definitely Aquatic. Oh boy. But in any case, let's get back on track with some factors here. We got to talk about who would like to be interviewed, by the way, from the 90 Nips. Whoever is interested, please join into the watch party, and you'll be able to talk one of our staff in particular to decide which one is going to be the one who's jumping in for this interview. So let us know. Let us know who's interested in doing that, so we can go ahead and have a nice conversation with one of you guys. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good fun commentary. But it looks like Zooey, by the way, is the one sitting in the watch party at this time. So most likely appears to be him wanting the interview.
I do see a interview me note here. Is he actually gonna?
I think he probably means interview me friend. Yes, of course. He just didn't finish his sentence. That was the problem.
All right, he said please, so we're gonna go ahead and drag him up here. Let's get Zooey.
Oh, wait a minute. Razzle said no. We're gonna have to send him back.
No.
Oh man, have a seat. Nice for you being here for this interview.
Pog champ.
All right. Well, congratulations for your team coming out with a very strong victory here with some convincing fashion. I believe this is your second win of this series.
Yeah, it's a 2-0 weekend actually. So
nice job. You guys were able to rebound from whatever happened last week. Oh,
Yeah.
we're just never talking about it. Never happened.
never happened.
All right,
I kind of do want to talk about it though. I mean, just I feel like so much of it just hindered on the Lissandra. Like you mid played differently. Obviously, this is your guys' first game with Razzle. Razzle played differently. Yeah, I feel like your team plays around the Lissandra differently. Do you think it's just all into that one pick, or is it like a confidence thing? Like,
I mean, I was a little confused why Aether didn't ban Lissandra. Like, I mean, you could just look up my name and I have like a 70% win rate on it or something really high, and my KDA is insane on it. So it's like, I don't know why you would ban Zoe and Nocturne over Lissandra and like Vladimir or something that I do better on. But I think the Lissandra is like something comfort for me. So like, I know what I'm doing 99% of the time on her, and I know what I want to do and what I look to do. I know how to play her in fights really well. So I feel like when I get put on Lissandra, I just turn into some insane monster and I like 1v9. But I didn't 1v9 because everyone on our team was winning across the map.
well, now that we've officially gotten a permaban for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
The big question I am going to be leading up with next is, are you mad at Sushi for stealing your Penta? You literally
I had a
seconds
quad.
away, and you had
I had
yes.
I had a quad. I thought I had a triple.
You had a triple, and Sushi took away that with one of his plants, sadly. But you had a quadra right there, and just as the Zanyu was coming up, it showed that you only ended up with a triple. So Ash, Mixed Veggies, goes ahead and takes that. But you were inches, and I mean inches away from a penta right there. I don't know if you noticed.
I saw that I had a triple, but sorry, Sushi. Looking for new support.
all right, we hear that the advertisement in the stream.
I'm kidding.
Bringing them out.
No, it's cool. I mean, it was a relatively clean fight at the end. I was kind of sad I died because my KDA, but win's a win. Can't complain.
Win's a win indeed. That was very much great rebounding. I suppose that'll just about do it for this interview. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, mid laner of Naughty Nips, Zooey, you call yourself?
Zooey mama.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, well, in any case, thank you for being part of this interview. We'll doors on the right, you're all set to leave. Well, with that notion, I think that will pretty much bring our little weekend to an end for this week too. I want to thank everybody for watching so far. I think you guys had a pretty good time watching the gameplay. I know I certainly did. ESG with a huge win. It's very great. Incredible victory here as well for Naughty Nips. And whatever happened in Game 2 happened in Game 2. I'm sure that happened, yeah? Yeah. Jokes aside, thank you all for watching so far. Any last words, Sexton?
No, thank you for bringing me on. Thank you to all the teams for participating so far in the tournament. It has been a ton of fun. We have had close to 0 issues, which I'm also very proud of. So I just want to thank everybody in the community, thank my staff,
Thank my co-owner, Amber. Thank you. I love you. All right, and that's pretty much it. Army, I love you too. It's okay.
Okay,
Love-
good.
love all around.
No, you just finished the Barbie. You didn't even thank me. Gotcha. Anyway, I
You're
still
part
mean
of
it
the
though.
staff.
I still mean it though. You owe me. Anyway, stream's over. See you guys next time. Goodbye.